If you dungeon a dragon, James, I have so many questions because that sounds like a sexual euphemism for
He's
something.
a dragon layer.
I'm
He
a dragon
is.
a dungeon.
Oh, that sounds like. You know what? We're not going to get into that. This is the first 5 minutes, and I do want a chance of one day having these monetized. So, hello. Welcome back to the Saturday Ironheart Merchant Company session 57, a noble festivity. Before we get into today's session and today's date, we're going to roll back the clock to take a look at what happened last time with this party. Starting in as we came back from a cliffhanger that James had made very clear he did not appreciate at the very end being stuck with. As the party was being attacked by a few red tigers, diseased and all, the creatures quite quickly found themselves attacking on Rollman and humbling him rather well, as he realized that fighting these creatures with slashing damage was not the choice. Switching from his kamos and his sharpened end of his blade to a dulled two-handed baseball bat-like fighting style, Rollman began to snap necks instead of severing body parts, trying all he could to avoid this strange disease that James would find himself unfortunately falling for, as Syndra and James did all they could to hold the back line. While this would go on, and the fight would carry on for quite a bit, the party would find themselves attacked by not only a vivacious tiger, which is one of those creatures from one of the material planes, or one of the planes of existence that have yet to be discovered, a creature that basked in both negative and positive aura, as the party found out to Rolliman's irritated dismay. As the creature showed up, bringing its 3 bears with it, the party, both joyous for the fact they didn't have to chase it down, but not exactly ecstatic for the time it showed up, found themselves in a bit of a predicament as the 3 party members held on. Syndra, I think, being the only one who came out pretty much unscathed. As the party, though, quite quickly made work of what was the last of the creatures, Rollman singling down the vivacious tiger with criticals left and right, while James and Syndra held what they could against the bears, Syndra quite quickly charming 2 of the bears, and the third kind of wailing on James left and right, while he found himself being dented into the ground, not quite hit. With Rollman, though, killing the vivacious tiger, finding that the polar bears had no real will left to fight, the cold-bearded bears had no will left to fight, the party quickly made use of taming the last one and digging James out of the ground while also curing his disease. With that, the party did the last bit of the cleanup, gunning the creatures for what they could get and what was valuable. James wanting very little to do with the red tigers and their disgusting disease. After falling for it, the party found themselves cleaning up and leaving the rest as carrion for the creatures of the wild. As they headed back towards the boat, kind of taking a moment to be extra cautious just in case, Rollman on high alert, expecting for another fight, Syndra low on spells, but prepared and still holding on to her top spells just in case, and James just hoping he didn't get turned into another garden gnome, truly, as they managed to make it back to the ship peacefully and without interruption. With a quick realization of James wanting to take the elevator up and not having to deal with the constant falling, sitting his ass down, Rollman and James head above deck and down below to meet with the crew and begin figuring out which ones were sick and which ones weren't. While James did a little bit of looking around and figuring out of a few other things. Syndra down below would pass on her message to the 2 salamanders that she had gained, a flame brother and a noble, that she had captured to keep them in the grove and protecting it while she could, letting the bears go as well, though their interest seemingly staying in the area and letting her have a few more pets to keep to the territory while she was away. Quite quickly afterwards, the party found themselves finishing up the session with curing the last of the crew, finding out about their bloodlines, and, of course, finding out a little bit more lore about the overall crew themselves. From there, the party went faded to black as the ship headed off, and bringing us to our next session in the year 65,007, the month of the planting, or April, as we now hit the nice, beautiful spring thaw, and on the ninth day, the party having taken about 9 weeks, I think it was, of downtime, in which they got to work, relax, and do some training. Rollman training his feats while he had a chance to practice and doing very little else other than staying upon the ship and in the training yards with the soldiers of Rune's Hold. James finding himself working away, crafting for the local town, doing what he could to try and sell them masterwork tools at a cheap price, but one that would not get masters of their craft to be hesitant to buy it, making a small profit, but not an immense one comparatively. And then Syndra and James finishing out their bits of downtime with going and exploring the town and learning a bit more information. James, both in his mercantile interest to find out what was being sold, of course, as well as working away, or as well as learning about one of the quests, the hag that ate my baby. As we return, James now with his new gear that he spent his other bits of downtime finishing, a full set of new armor, a shield. I believe a set of armor it was as well. No, is it just a shield?
I just have a new shield and I have Grandpappy's shield set
That's
up
what it
in my
was.
room.
The tower shield that you made. Yes, the grandsire shield. That has given James a chance to get his true motivation when crafting as he starts to learn that Grandpappy, while an asshole, is very good at motivating.
You can sleep when you're done, and you're not done till I say.
James enjoying the fondness of his childhood, remembering any time he wasn't training or sneaking off to the library, being locked away in Grandpappy's smithy, being forced to work until his fingers bled, like any good Frostbuster did. We've returned back though, as the party sits around on the top deck of the ship. The crew themselves having been enjoying a bit of time amongst the town. The Rough Bloods having bought themselves some gear, having gotten a couple of clubs. Many of the Frost Giants having began going shopping for their gear. The Mountain Giant bloodlines, thankfully, having been shrunk down, have also started to invest into strength gear, and your crew is starting to outfit themselves a bit more. As they begin to do so. But with you lot coming back, sitting up on the top deck, enjoying what is some sort of thick, bug-like creature turned into a bowl, and its insides kind of stewed to make this almost green-like paste with these bits of what looks to be chunks of chicken, but as you realize are bits of organ. It smells quite delicious, of a bit of spice and almost like a strong hot curry. Underneath what looks to be some sort of thick meat chunks from something else. You guess one of the mini beasts you guys have killed. Yeah, basically. This James recognizing this as the leftover rations from the Genasi lands, as this was one of the favored dishes of one of the dragon lords that you had heard about while there. The catfish having himself prepared it for many of the crew who seem to have enjoyed the overall flavor as you kind of sit around enjoying a unique breakfast as the morning begins. It is raining outside, but with the giant dome, you don't really have to worry about the rain coming down on you, so...
Alright. As James will spread out the 3 things that we're interested in looking into, along with the one that we're planning on dealing with today, so that'll be Hagate My Baby quest. The Lithotar settings to see what we can find out. Beast Folk Madness, and the Golden Opportunity he'll set a little bit aside and say, I already put a quest out to get someone to go scout. I did that a couple weeks ago. We might hear something, we might not.
Alright. So where do you want to start?
Let's gather more information on the 3 that were on the one that we're planning to do hopefully today, and the other 2. I don't. This one bringing up Lithotar has me worried, as does the reward. And again, something similar with the Beast Folk here. Something seems a bit off.
Alright then.
Alright, as you kind of enjoy your breakfast, kind of finishing the bowl as you look over the quests, kind of thinking about them, crew kind of beginning to head ashore for those few that have the time amongst or the leave time amongst themselves. Kind of begin to de-ship and head off into the town as the town hasn't been lively, but seems to be in better spirits now that the siege is no longer going on and has fully been lifted. As you kind of finish up your breakfast, the Rough Bloods kind of give you a full rundown gives you a full rundown of who is in town, or who's going amongst the town of the crew, and who is planning to stay on board for the day, giving also a breakdown of the patrols as Rollman had set up, but previously before the 9 weeks had been done.
Thank you, Crack.
Crack nods, smiling, and goes, "Of course, Master, Sir James."
You can call me Captain. I have no problem with the crew calling you that.
Kind of nods and goes, "Hi, Captain James. And Magril has sent his regards and says he is going on a hunt. As he said he would be back within the day. Maybe. If he's not, you're in charge, as he's probably dead."
Oh.
A slow blink. So if he dies, I suddenly become the ruler of the Stronghelm line. Great.
I think he was joking, sir.
What's he hunting that he has to go himself?
Crack looks over at you and goes, he was told about, from what the messenger said, when I asked about the same question, he said that someone had put out a high offer for looking into a golden dragon in the area.
I see.
And he said, and I quote, "This will go into my vacation fund. I'm not sure, Captain, what a vacation fund is, but I understand the want for the money, as he said the value was quite high. Funny, Captain, didn't you also put up a quest asking for a golden dragon?"
Yeah, did he say how much the reward was?
No. Just said it was going towards his vacation fund.
I have a few... Did I ever get notification that my quest was picked up?
So give me a proficient merchant check real quick, James. So overall, from what you know about how the quest system roughly works, both as an adventurer and as a merchant, most people post quests at the taverns or like local areas for gathering for adventurers, giving the reward to the business owner to hold on to, and in exchange of like a 15% gratuity or something of like a loan of the sorts, basically to make sure that your money's not going to be stolen or used in something else. But the downside about that is how adventuring works is they keep it anonymous through this. The only person you will ever meet or deal with or even discuss or know about is the person you gave the quest to post in. So in this case, having sent the quest to be posted at the Master's Forge and Rest, the local guild or inn that has been set up, you would only have been told, "Hey, your quest has been done," or "Hey, it's not been finished." You wouldn't be told by who, and you would not be giving the reward to them directly. And it's just to keep the anonymity so that criminals can continue doing the jobs as needed, because the world can't afford to lose adventurers right now.
Yeah. Well, if Magril's doing my scouting, we know we're going to get a lot of information.
Or we could also just take in the one to kill it, right? For 100,000.
Could have.
Oh god.
If you did, it's oh well. I'm not going to try and step in front of that.
All right.
But well, then Crack. Good job. Thank you for the information.
He nods.
We're probably going to be sitting out to look into some things. Mind keeping everything ship-shape around here?
Looks over at Rollman and looks back at you as if he wasn't already in charge when you're gone, and then goes, "Yes, Captain, I will keep everything tip-top." So he nods. I heard that one from one of the Frost Giants.
Thank you.
He nods. As you begin to deboard. Now, are you taking your wagon and mount, or are you guys just kind of heading in on foot?
Do you guys think we'll actually need the wagon? Because we're not making many purchases.
No, we're doing info gathering. If anything, the cart's going to be a holdback. We're going to have to put it somewhere.
Yeah, it'll stay on the ship then.
Okay. And then, as far as it goes, Rollman, I assume you're going in your green silk attire.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, James, are you going full armor?
Yes.
All right. And then, Syndra. So what are you gonna do? Because you got horns and you're cold.
Her beard.
Look, I only have 2 configurations. Fancy party and normal, and I'm not going to a party.
So yeah, the question is, are you going to try and cover your horns, or are you going to let them just protrude as is?
No, I'm just going to let them fly.
Okay.
We're good.
Alright. Yeah, fair enough. Then as you lot begin to head into town, kind of grabbing up your gear, grabbing up some backpacks from your rooms, that kind of emptying them out the best you can, and kind of beginning to head out. As you lot head out and into town, passing through the courtyard, or the large courtyard where the 2 airships are kind of parked, Stan's ship still behind you for the time being, and kind of sticking around here for after having passed on the messages that you asked them to. As you lot kind of pass through the courtyard, seeing the inner walls of the castle, the beautiful fortress kind of glimmering as it does, reaching all the way to the top of the supposed skull-like dome. As you lot pass through, open to what is a large drawbridge with a beautiful moat glimmering with giant, what looks to be almost koi fish that glimmer with bits of silver and gold scales in the pools. Kind of passing over, seeing some of the beautiful shrubbery with red roses beginning to just start to bud and glimmer under the sunlight, rather under the street light, I should put it, as you lot pass by many of the large iron rods with brightened candles that seem to continuously burn. Noticing the ever-burning torches, similar enchantment on these candles as you lot head on. Heading into town, it seems to be quite busy. A large, or a massive city overall for what it is. This is almost as big as as a capital, as you pass that by houses and merchant shops alike. Many opening up, the sounds of merchants shouting for goods, jewels here and there, people kind of walking about, happily laughing. Many people enjoying what looks to be the local foods, baked goods, as they either head out of town and begin to head towards the fields to work, or begin to head towards their jobs in the city. As you lot begin to walk through, give me spot, listen, and search, I assume, as you lot begin to look about.
Everything.
Syndra, you have the highest of 2 of these. Which one are you doing?
Bro, my spot and listen are exactly the same.
Oh, God.
Which one do you want to do this time?
I'll do listen. My listen, I think, is still by far the best of the 3 of us.
I guess I'll do
search.
search.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, you're doing search and I'm doing spot then.
Well, you are a wisdom-based character. If you don't have a higher spot, then I'd be worried.
It's not one of my class skills. None of my classes give me spot.
Oof, you'd think Cleric would. Alright, so 19, 10, and 27. Nice, okay. As James kind of seems a bit more nervous being in a new town, keeping his eyes kind of darting about, also listening for as many of the merchants begin to sell their goods, catching more of the interest of their what they're selling, how much they're selling, noticing the prices being very low in the area, surprisingly. It's almost as if things have started to be undercut on the market, and noticing many of the goods look to be surprisingly real as he passes by, but otherwise not really noticing anything else, James, as you kind of continue about. Roland, as you begin, excuse me, I didn't mean for my voice to go like that. Roland, as you begin to look about, seeing or kind of looking through the many faces and noticing the people kind of watching you lot, you do seem to stick out amongst many of the very heavily snowbeard population. A few short kobolds here and there that are in chains kind of being dragged about by their masters, but otherwise the city is almost slaveless, it seems, as you look about, at least from the outside, though knowing better of snowbeard culture. What is behind closed doors is a different question. But as you look about, kind of noticing a few faces watching you, none seem armed, but you do notice that you guys are catching a lot of glances. Many of people seemingly assessing James specifically, as you kind of notice, looking at his brand new, beautiful shield that he has on his back, as well as his glimmering armor. And a few concerned faces that seem to be looking over at Syndra, as they kind of go from looking at James with money in their eyes to looking at Syndra with fear almost instantly, as people start to give a wide berth as they notice Syndra behind you too.
Do I know if this town or this city is known for having lots of banditry or no?
Sorry, lots of what?
Banditry. Thieving.
Banditry. Okay. Give me a knowledge history check.
Just in case how alert I need to be for getting robbed.
Yeah, no, I got you. Like pickpockets, criminal, anybody's gonna steal from you. Yep, I got you. What the criminal history is here.
17.
So most of the Snowbeard territories, to your knowledge and what you've experienced, are split between two major families for the criminal enterprises, and that is mostly the Grey Rats, and then what is the Broken Rats, which is a non-noble house or mercantile house, kind of considered a criminal or destroyed house overall, not an actual house, but clan rather. These two seem to run the black markets overall and keep a certain kind of rules. With that, adventurers are typically not people they like to have their thieves stealing from, and most people don't go after adventurers due to the variance in skill. It's too hard to kind of get a good read on them unless you are an adventurer yourself. Okay. Also, you guys, adventurers being a value, it's not looked upon kindly to attack another adventurer like that.
All right.
So, yeah. But beyond that, so you get the overall, yeah, you don't think you'll be robbed as long as you look the part. Finally, getting on to Syndra with your listen. Now, before I go into it with such a high roll, is there anything specific you're listening for, Syndra, or just in general for anything that's being talked about?
Anything relating to the quests, even though it's unlikely. Why goods are so cheap? Because I feel like if we were told to undercut prices, and if someone was to also undercut prices, something's going on.
Okay.
I think that's about it for specifics.
All right. As you kind of begin to listen in, you hear more people chatting. There seems to be a couple of young ladies that kind of gossiping as you pass by what looks to be a beautiful bakery where you can smell the cocoa and coffee beans coming in, realizing this place is probably expensive as all hell. As you kind of notice the prices are only a silver piece for a cup, which that's a ridiculous price given the rarity and value of both these products. But as you kind of pass by listening into the group of what looks to be young merchant noble daughters kind of chatting and gossiping, you do hear a bit of gossip, if you will, that catches your attention as you kind of zone in and out of the conversation. As the girls begin speaking, one of them goes, "Did you hear about the cracked helms? They managed to finally break. I heard that that she was fucking her cousin, and that's why." And another one kind of speaks up and goes, "No, she was sleeping with Odger himself. Didn't you know that?" Another one kind of brings up and goes, No, Odger was Odger's sister's kid, and he was sleeping with his sister. That's the truth, and that's why that family's cursed." As the three kind of continue talking about it and going on and going back and forth between them. As you continue... Good?
No, I just said, It's kind of very different than what we heard, but all right.
Mm-hmm. As you continue heading past, you do hear some merchants talking amongst each of themselves as you continue kind of heading towards what looks to be a large, beautiful fountain kind of carved in the center square of the town. As you kind of walk by it, seeing a table to kind of sit down at and watch the people for a minute, do some studying as James kind of begins to walk over to a couple stands and look at their goods, just trying to get a rough idea of it. You begin to hear a few of the what looks to be two tradesmen kind of talking between the two of them as they have some coin amongst on the table and seem to be like performing a deal. And one seems to go, "Did you hear about those damn broken rats popping up in our territories?" The other kind of responding and going, "Yes, they're trying to get Magritte on their side so they can legitimize their position and try and take the crown. One of them's to be married to a bastard of the Venkos." As they kind of, and the other guy kind of looks on in shock and surprise. as they kind of begin to talk about some, kind of continue on with this. A few more things kind of catch your attention as one goes. Yeah. Did you know that they're just undercutting the market so that they can then upcharge everyone once they get interested in all the goods that they've been providing? Cut off the market and boom, and everyone will pay the prices they want. The damn thieves. And the other guy kind of nodding along ferociously with it, kind of glaring angrily as the guy continues talking. But as they kind of go quiet, as you kind of continue to watch. Nothing else kind of catches your attention though amongst the conversations as James kind of comes back, sitting down at the table. What looks to be a couple of baked rough rolls that seem to smell of cinnamon and sugar. Kind of as he sets one out for each of you, as after looking at a couple of the vendors.
I'm guessing you're hearing more than I am, as the usual is, Syndra. Care to share?
Some rats undercutting the market so they can later monopolize everything and get higher prices later. That's going to be more your ball game.
Oh, I can crush some rats.
Something about the nice lady that we're getting a quest from. Well, they're very unsavory rumors of her sleeping with different people or being a product of nepotism. And with that many bad rumors, something about it's probably true. I just have no way to confirm.
Has to be a seed of truth in it, at the very least.
You think any of these rumors relate to the actual quest?
Well, the people were saying that from what they said about the house falling, absolutely nothing they said related to the head being eaten like we were told.
Right.
So either there's rumors afly for no reason that have nothing to do with anything, or we're being lied to on some front.
Good to know. I have a bit more information going into talking to them then.
So, I mean, if it's that bad, there's a chance there's not even an ogre mage in the first place.
There's also a chance it's something else entirely, that illusion one.
I'm taking my bet now that just a lady under illusions killing people. I'm just saying.
Is there a history of this woman making quests?
Given what we were told just a bit ago about how questing works normally, probably not. That we can access.
That's anonymity for the people taking the quest, not people putting up the quest.
That's correct.
Yeah.
When you were there, Rolaman, let's have you we'll have you roll gather information just to see how many quests you noticed that were like lower level and higher level that caught your attention.
All right.
Because as always, for those who watch at home, the players get a set of quests that they pick out as a perspective for them, what they might be interested in, what's kind of around their area of expertise in the time. So, i.e., the DM picks monsters that are a good.
I was not looking at anything that was too easy.
Yeah, Roman, as you were looking over the top, looking at the top quests, I mean, these were like monsters, basically like lesser Apex monster hunts that were in the area that you guys kind of write off for the most part. Being that they're recommended for higher parties and usually have name parties that are being requested for them specifically. You don't recall seeing this name anywhere on any of the other quests. However, something strange about it that does catch your attention is her family name wasn't listed on the quest. And based on what Syndra and James have both gathered and talked about so far, something doesn't add up because she offered her house and her family's heirloom for the quest reward, which is kind of a little bit strange, given that kind of a reward is being offered.
Roman's sitting there with his brow furrowed, eating the treat that James got him. And his mouthful of food says, "So the reward is their house name, but their house name was not attached to their name in terms of."
Well, not just their house name, their house in its entirety.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I fully think we're walking into a very obvious trap, but I don't think they know that we've caught on yet. So
Probably not.
It's most likely, yes, but if we don't bumble into it and Or charge into it, one of the two.
But what are they hoping to gain? They just want to kill adventurers for fun, or
Well,
Or power.
it could be vengeance in some way. They could just want people dead. They could be a necromancer doing death rituals for all we know.
that's true.
As you recall hearing about rumors from Utham's territory of a town that was taken over by necromancers, and then wiped out afterwards.
Should we ask for some sort of like identification? This is even her, like, or just like be oblivious and just be prepare for the worst.
So how James wants to handle it, they'd get us very different outcomes depending on how we decide to go about it.
With what we know, walking in still oblivious and asking for more information may be the best way to go. But I'd hate to wander into something because we also need to consider that this job remained up for the... Because even if we did take one of the flyers, many people take the flyers.
And I will note there's no way to tell how old a quest is or how long it's been up there.
So we know it has been up for at least 11 weeks. Because it took 2 weeks to travel.
Mm-hmm.
If it's that much of a trap, and we go to ask a question, she realizes, you know that she's prepared to kill anyone who realized her deception as well, if that's the case. So we'll be walking into a trap regardless.
Well, I guess it just matters where do we want to spring the trap.
Exactly.
I'll leave that distinction to you, Roland, because you have a better eye for battlefields than I do.
It's hard to determine which one will be better. Obviously, if we go along with the quest, that's going to be more detailed, but it's probably more remote and less chance of outside interference. But if we do it, like... Yes, what are you saying?
I'm willing to bet her trap from wherever she's currently staying is more set up than the trap in the old manor, since she can be seen at that manor if it's a trap. If that
Could
makes
be.
sense.
You also have more freedom to look around that than their own home.
That is true. Does that mean we should head straight there then? We have no further questions for the lady that is waiting for to give us a reward for this?
I mean, I never said that. It was just, do we want to spring the trap on her openly? You can still go ask her questions, but you have to be smarter about it to not tip her off.
I think we can ask those questions, but then we go to the manor anyway.
That seems like the best route for this. Did you, while we walk, Sindred, if you could keep an ear out for the other two things that we were trying to learn about, I would be grateful.
Do you think I ever shut my ears?
No, but
I can't really control them. I didn't get that gene.
You know, beings that can
you're not
control
like
their
cousin.
ears?
You're not like cousin. You're not like that one cousin that can close his ears at will. Damn.
No, it's not a skill I've ever needed nor wanted.
As in the distance, Cinder hears. So, Doc, about this thing, this ward I got on down here. What do you think it is?
Oh.
That's going to require castration.
That's the third one this week. No, I can't regen this again.
What?
As Cinder just looks on with a surprised, like eyes are right there.
Why is your face all scrunched up like that?
You don't want to.
Well, try to filter out the stuff that you don't want to hear. Then,
Yeah, that's not an option. No.
Did you hear
Mommy,
about
where do babies come from?
Did you hear about the unfortunate sons? There's like one of them that's a mad black man.
That's an interesting rumor.
I knew they didn't have rights.
Well, and there goes mine. Well, anyway, we're past the first 5 minutes. We're good. Oh, but no. As
Royce, I'm sorry to say, some bots have been going 10 minutes in.
No, well, no. The monetization for YouTube, the standard contract states it has to be. You can't curse within the first 5 minutes. Um,
I,
but as you kind of look, or as you listen about and look about people kind of walking around buying goods, gemstones, what looks to be toolkits. One of the things that does catch Roland and Syndra's attention, both of you notice a merchant stall has kind of set up opposite side of the fountain, kind of just out of your purview, naturally, as you both kind of like circle looking about and listening to the talk. As you see over across, there is someone who's quietly, not shouting, but seems to be more of a conversational like volume, speaking to the people around, going, Ironheart Merchant Company Masterwork tool sets, 5 gold pieces for a set. 5 gold pieces made
Do
by
I
the
catch
James
this?
himself. You don't hear this at all. Or rather, spot this at all.
hey, James,
Yes.
do we have a stall set up today?
We shouldn't. I've been walking around selling them by hand.
So who's selling Masterwork Iron Merchant Company tools?
Was it pointed out to me? Now do I notice this?
You look over. Yeah, you see what looks to be James. It looks like you, like identical to you, but he's got black highlights in his hair.
I'm walking over.
Yeah. As you kind of head over, and gang up, Rollman following and Cinder following behind you quite quickly as a couple kids toss a few copper coins into the fountain, making quiet wishes as you hear, or Cinder hears one of them say, I wish for a cake, and the other one go, I wish for the hookers down the street to stop asking Daddy not to come home. As you pass by, and walking over to the stall, you see a merchant kind of doing business as he buys one, setting a couple of gold pieces on the table and walks off. As the merchant kind of looks over at you, his eyes kind of glimmering. You notice they're an emerald green, James. They're not blue. But his white hair has what looks to be black highlights and tips to most of the snowy white coloration, and his blue skin seems to be a little bit more on the paler side of blue, as he looks up at you. A little bit shorter than you and wearing what looks to be similar to Rollman's own silky attire, but in a more reddish coloration. Thankfully, no cat ears and no red eyes.
I would like to appraise these tools. Are they mine? Would I...
Oh, you don't have to appraise them, buddy. You can see your mark on the front of the thing. None taken appraise to see the big Ironheart Merchant Company and the James signet right below that.
Did we just find a reseller?
I'm
Yes.
gonna look at him. Identity theft isn't a joke, my friend.
Oh! You work for the Ironheart Merchant Company? I have permission from James himself. I'm his cousin.
That's strange because I don't work for him. As I turn my hammer on my back to show the insignia on it.
Oh, you're a smith that left his company. Oh, okay. If you want to destroy all his tools, I understand. Here, let me get the gold. What? As he just kind of stops and looks back at you for a second after turning to pick up some tools.
Yes. And while I can appreciate you making money, and there's nothing wrong with selling something once you've bought it.
And looks at you and then goes,
Claiming to be someone you're not is a liability.
and looks at you and then goes in a very broken dwarvish accent, goes, I don't speak ye the language.
As I speak perfect Dwarvish. Lad, you're gonna have to do so much better.
Hey, I got this. So you're James, as I look at this guy.
No. I had the permission from the Ironheart Merchant Company to sell this.
No, please, I heard you. Come on, we have a quest. We have monsters to kill.
I'm sorry, miss, I don't know any horned snowbeards. God forbid whatever your daughter... Huh? Nephew? No, sorry. I'm not related to anybody like yourself.
You don't recognize your Aunt Syndra?
What
What about your best friend? As I gesture to roll them in.
No, I think you've got the wrong gentleman. As I said, I'm just doing business on behalf of James. I was told I could sell these without issue.
From who?
James
James
himself,
of the
apparently.
Ironheart Merchant Company came through
When did you
town
speak to him?
2
You're
days
standing in
ago.
front-
Yeah, but you're not him. You're too short. He's like 5'8". You're like
Oh,
barely above 5 foot.
it's this old Snowbeard acting as James.
I'm below 4 feet. This is I'm below 5 feet. I'm above 4 feet.
Roman,
This is-
as you look down, you can see like into the stall. You can see this guy's on a step stool. As you realize that's why he thinks James is so much taller. But as he looks over at you, he kind of goes, "Yeah, he's tall, big, portly fella. Fancy leather armor, carries a big battle axe on his back. Says he can make anything with just his bare hands. Watched him craft this pretty white hammer from just this white bar of liquid that he had on him. Just smushed it together. His hands glue and boom, popped out a hammer."
Another impersonator. Fucking.
He sold me all these tools for 3 gold pieces apiece. What do you mean?
I feel like I should know this.
I can tell you, you've never met this character.
Okay, thank God.
No one of note. Nothing to panic over. This 100% just sounds like a guy who is literally just using James's persona to make money. James, actually though, give me a knowledge history real quick to see if you, as he kind of describes this guy, to see if you recognize this dude from the your downtime selling the items.
Someone
watch you
bought
get in
like
that
half
one.
my fucking stock.
Yeah,
I
watch
just can feel it.
watch you now get in that one. Like rolling
You know
it.
what? Let's give this man a show.
Oh no.
I'll use one spell.
As the man will probably cower. Oh wow, that one was close.
The one.
Very
It's not
close.
a one.
As I imbue myself with magic to make sure I can remember shit.
You recall yesterday there was someone that fits that description, but they only came by and bought 2 sets from you, and you accepted because it was 2 sets. That's not a big deal if he resells them both. I mean, it's no issue. It's only 2 of them, and they can still come to you if they wanted a discount. But you recall, strangely enough, after this figure left, multiple figures similar to the individual kept showing up. They all looked slightly different. One had a mustache, another had a beard, one had glasses. One had a weird nose. One had a weird nose and a weird mustache. One had some strange eyebrows as you start
Did
to
I
think
get
back.
Costco sampled?
You realize, yes, you did. Someone bought about what you think roughly, as you account, roughly around 30 of your toolkits from you, and as you realize, looking down here, sold about half of them to this guy.
Side quest? Does it look at James? Side quest?
Oh yeah, where are you gonna find this, man? Aside from someone else impersonating me, you can sell them as you want, just don't claim to be doing it for the Ironheart. You're not. I have never met you before today.
That's for sure.
But if you can sell all of these and come back to me, I will consider giving you a job.
Alright!
Prove your worth as a merchant.
Yeah. Kind of nods to that and goes, yeah. I'll make sure to stop on by and, I got kids to feed. I'd love to make sure a stable income would be fantastic. So he kind of nods at that and gives a smile and goes, I'll drop him back down to 4 gold to make it fair then.
Good man.
Were you set to meet?
How much is he lying to me?
Give me a sense motive. Go ahead, Roland. What's up? Well, James rolls it.
Were you set to meet this James impersonator at some point in the future?
No.
Or stock?
No, I just bought all the stuff he had on at the time. Well, not all of it. 18, he's lying through his teeth.
Yeah, no.
He's fully gonna, as you can tell, he's gonna take this money and as you can smell it on his breath, he's gonna go buy booze and basically go sleep on the street or sleep in a nice brothel. This guy is 100% just like a con artist.
Actually, I don't think it's worth my time. Do I see any of the city guard around?
Yeah, multiple. They seem to kind of be going on in multiple patrols.
Can I flag one down?
Yeah, as you see a group of 5, kind of with a bit of a grizzled, older-looking captain, kind of coming over as he notices you flagging, seeming to recognize and like appraise you for a second as he eyes up your party. Kind of comes jogging over with his look to be about 4 younger to middle-aged lads that seem to be well armed, but not necessarily to your own standards. As they kind of come jogging up in their heavy plate. The captain kind of steps forward, looking at you, sword, hand on the sword hilt, as he looks at between you and the salesman, and goes, "Is there a problem, James?" As he looks up at the merchant, and goes, "Is this man bothering you?" And the merchant just kind of looks at him and goes, "Yeah, they're claiming to be me and trying to kind of steal my business. Shoo them off."
I'm going to turn to the captain and go, "This man's impersonating Lord James Dreg Ironheart." As I turn my hammer, as I am him.
The guard captain looks you up and down and goes, "Sir, I've never seen you."
We can go to the ship.
I can take you straight to the Iron Journey, the current head vessel of the Ironheart fleet.
Oh, so you're part of the kidnappers that have been populating these streets as of these days, and you see his 4 lads behind him getting nervous, beginning to pull their blades a little bit out of the hilt.
I'm not a part of any kidnappers.
You're trying to drag me to some ship and steal me off and eat me like the last 4 children that have gone missing? I'm too old to be kidnapped and too ugly, young man.
I'll just
Go to
sigh
the keep
and step in front. What could prove the identity of James Drigg of the clan Ironheart?
Looks you up and down and goes, "And who might you be?"
Rollman, the head bodyguard? I don't know what's my
Thousand
title, James?
Blades is what you've been called on the streets lately, my friend.
Oh, I guess that, but what's my title, like, in the company?
That's what like leans down. Go ahead.
Like, now that I think about it, we've never settled the title.
And you have a lot of titles, my friend.
Right hand of James.
Kind of looks you up and down and goes, "You're the guy who took out a whole nest of hydras."
Yes, that would be correct.
Uh-huh. And I'm Santa Claus. As he looks back and the young lads start kind of nervously laughing.
What the hell's a Santa Claus?
And looks up at you, looks over at Sindra and goes, "And that thing over there, you're telling me that the good Sir James, a grand and kind individual who's been doing nothing but helping Migril Stronghelm around these parts, selling great masterwork tools at a discounted prices here, would be followed by a demon-like creature, especially a lesser demon. You lot don't even deserve to have rights in these damn towns."
Captain, what's your name?
Mine? I was
Yes.
named after Odger himself.
Captain Odger, then. Good. Syndrome, reach out to Magro.
Of course. I'll start casting my spell.
And which spell are you casting?
This is Whispering Sand.
Okay. As you cast this, kind of the sand beginning to close into the guy's or Magro's ears. You begin to hear screaming, the sounds of battle, the sounds of combat kind of getting louder, magic being shot off, screaming, some more screaming, fire and explosions as you get your connection kind of going.
Everyone hears this, by the way. This isn't in
Yeah,
my head.
no, I know. And they all look. The captain and the young men all look nervous. The young lads do begin to pull their blades a bit more. The captain
If you draw
himself
those
hasn't
blades,
pulled his
boys,
sword.
You're going to regret it. That's
Cap-
your only warning.
The
He's in battle.
captain just looks over at James and goes, kind of past Rolliman and goes, "You order my men again to do anything, and I'll make sure you regret it." As he
Let
kinda
us
eyes
calm
you.
down here. It's getting a bit escalated.
Aye, pointed ears. He looks over at Syndra, who's kind of the sounds of battle screaming as the merchant looks very nervous as he watches all this and hears this. Syndra, as you kind of connect, what do you say to Magro?
Magral, I know you're in battle, but how would we handle identity theft? We've got a fake James and a real James, and the guards are really bad at their jobs.
You hear high-pitched scream and you hear Magro go, "God damn it, Jimmy! I can't keep regenerating you like this. You're costing us our entire funds. What? Oh, I did. Is this
I'll pay for Jimmy's next 3
is this
regenerations.
really the time to be asking this? I'm fighting a fucking dragon.
I mean, I can call later, but I'm gonna be at a standoff with these guards for a few hours till you're done.
What guard are you possibly fighting with? Most of them
Captain
recognize.
Well, he can't hear you, Cameron. He can't hear you at all.
That's fair.
You hear a
He
shrill
says his
scream
name-
and fire.
You say he's named after Odger?
God, is that... Get the rock from falling down! God damn it, I swear to God, Sloshback, you are the worst slave we picked up this week. Captain Odger, fine. Tell him that that Matt the Girl Stronghill will back whoever James is, or whoever's claiming to be James in this moment. God fucking die, you bastard! And he kind of continues and goes, alright, but, yes, let him know I, support James. You can use my seal if need be, but, as far as proving yourself, shit, they're as good as, the captain believes it. I mean, he should recognize adventurers of your quality, and it's probably just being a hothead. As you hear another scream, and you hear, Magro go, alright, Lebrick, I told you for the 3rd time not to let your damn son near the tail, and stop putting that poison dagger near it. Is there anything else you need, Syndra?
Tell him
I'll
I'm
say,
gonna...
no, that's all. We'll break the spell now.
I'll
break it. Captain, you heard everything.
He looks on a little concerned and with worry on his face, and a little bit of surprise and astonishment. Kind of looks over at James, kind of round Rollerman, and goes, I don't believe you're any value to this country or these lands, but I cannot deny my lord's request. And he looks over at the little, shopkeep and goes, back up your crap and sell it a different day. When this supposed merchant's here.
James, shut the
He
fuck
has-
up.
How many zits does he have left?
From what you can tell, about 12.
And he wants 5 gold apiece. I'll set 60 gold, and I'll hand them to the captain. Pass them out to those who actually need them.
Captain kind of looks at you, looks at the gold, and just lets it drop to the ground, not taking it from your hand, and goes,
Oh, I'm not handing it to him. I'm setting it on the table and pointing at the tools.
oh, got you.
He's bought-
Yeah, as the captain just kind of looks at you and goes, I don't take orders from you. And kind of turns, he kind of takes his hand off his blade and starts walking off as the young men kind of seem to watch Rollerman for a moment with caution and sheath their blades and start running off after him. Merchant just kind of looks at James and looks back at the captain's back and kind of looks back at James and goes, I'll hand him out.
You hand them out to people who need them, and you can keep the money.
Sure. The guy takes the coin and kind of begins to pull it back to a bag as he kind of slides it in.
And if I ever find out that you are acting on behalf of my company ever again, you're going to lose a hand.
Give me an intimidation check.
Really don't have the charisma to be doing this, but
No, you do not.
this should be pretty intimidating.
And as always, James is not intimidating.
Well, as average. James, as you say this, you see the merchant kind of raises an eyebrow at that and just kind of nods along and goes, yeah, sure, boss. Whatever you say. As he kind of starts taking down the sign for the coin for the tools, starts kind of scraping it as you watch him, and he begins to write something else and puts down free tools for apprentices in need, and just kind of hangs the sign and sits back in his stool.
Let's go now.
James sighing and kind of turning and walking away. Roland and Cinder, are you following after him?
Yeah.
I give the guy one last look, and I need a will save.
Oh, okay.
This is not a spell.
Alright. Well, that's a wow. That's
It
a
was
good
faded.
sign for my rolls tonight.
As he feels a wave of supernatural cold go down his body as I stare into his eyes, he is now fatigued as I walk away.
Damn.
You watch as the poor merchant immediately as you begin to walk away, kind of his eyes begin to roll back into his head and his body collapses in on itself as he was already exhausted.
Excellent.
As you begin to head off, following James away from the square, a couple of nearby people seem to kind of noticing this, begin to kind of head over towards the stall. A young lady screaming in the distance as the guards start rushing over. And as you lot kind of look back and see, the young merchant is no longer with the living.
Wasn't my doing, so.
As James just shrugs with a quick comment and turns and continues walking off.
Ah, you see, he was so intimidating. He killed him to death with the fear.
Karma works in strange ways.
Yeah, Roman's saying this as he lightly elbows Syndra on the shoulder with this comment, or in the arm with this comment.
James is ignorant of what happened, so I can't say anything to Syndra.
I've used that ability exactly one time, and it was on a guy claiming to be Roland's bastard son that I don't think was.
No.
What was that?
That was back in Dragon's Gate.
Dragon's Crown.
Yeah, that was the one that was running the stable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've used that once.
It's basically untraceable.
It is.
All right. But as you head back, kind of further into town, is there anywhere you're specifically like what direction you're wanting to go towards?
Well, we should probably go question her a little bit to find out a little bit more about the manor before we head over there. That's what we agreed on, right, guys?
Do you guys want me to come with you? I'm gonna just walk around town and keep listening to things for other info.
I'd prefer you with us because if we accidentally spring the trap, I'd rather you be there than not.
Oh, fair enough.
As Syndra gets a quick picture in her head of James just getting grabbed by a ogre mage and like swallowed whole as Roman draws his blade, and a moment later.
No, I imagine the salamanders all over again, just with me not there. Like fireball set.
James just like coughing out smoke and putting out the fire on his mustache.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, yeah. As you lot head further into town, heading towards the inn where you had last seen her. Funny enough, actually, exactly where James needs to go to pick up his ever-burning forges still, technically. As you kind of head toward the Master's Forge and Rest, you do see the large building that seems to be almost designed identical to the buildings you've seen in Knighton. A almost Roman square that seems to be a whole city block designed into a single building of sorts that seems to be split between 4 separate sections as you kind of head up. One being it's an inn, one being a forge, another being a market square, and the last being the bathing square. Many of the like side buildings seem to have like rooms where you can see people kind of staying and enjoying themselves, or just standing up on the balconies as they watch people work away, either in the markets or in the forge square. As you kind of head in towards the market square where you were told to originally kind of visit, a small little tavern outer area kind of set up just to allow the beautiful sun, and right now unfortunately rain, as you kind of find yourselves right underneath one of the big circular openings in the ceiling, seeing the dark clouds up above and the rain kind of pouring down as umbrellas have been set above the tables where people are kind of enjoying their drinks. As you head in, you do see at one of the corners of the tavern, she seems to be sitting there, the Lady of Cracked Helm. Her long chestnut brown hair kind of glimmering even in the bit of torchlight that seems to kind of glow along the walls as the ever-burning torches kind of been set out with the rain going on. As you walk over, she seems to be sitting completely almost lit as her kind of snow white skin comes into view, her bright golden eyes kind of glimmering, and her surprisingly small white snow beard kind of seemingly well kept and closely braided, as you notice. She looks up in her what looks to be a more of a merchant's attire dress, a bit more what you can see more meant for travel, slimmer around the waist. It doesn't plume out much as it seems to kind of follow her legs. The beautiful blue color seems to be very faded and designed more to less attract attention, but also still show a bit of glamour to a wealthy merchant. As you kind of look her up and down, kind of take a seat at her table. She kind of looks up at you lot and goes, "Oh, Syndra and James, right?
Correct.
You
I
and you must be the notorious Rolloman that James told me all about over drinks."
I guess so. He talked about me over drinks.
She smiles and goes, "I hope that you'll forgive me. You're not really my type. But don't look at me, as he did explain. You can just look at a woman and get them to swoon for you. So please, I don't want to be attracted to your charm." And she kind of looks tries to keep her eyes from locking with yours.
I raise the eyebrow to James.
I'm gonna look back at him. I will explain later, but with your many stories, you can't blame me for making the assumption.
Yes, I can, and I will.
I knew that was going to be the response.
She just kind of looks between James and Roman, and as Roman kind of keeps himself standing as James and Cinder kind of take a seat at the table. Roman kind of keeping his eye amongst the rest of the square, kind of watching people and enjoying the quiet as he sits there or stands there. Perfect. All right. As she looks over at you, James, kind of now you can see she's visibly not trying to make eye contact with Roman, as she seems to really take that seriously.
It's a joke, Miss Cracktown.
She looks at you and goes, "Oh, call me Ruthbeg. It's the Cracktail name is long since gone." She kind of takes a sip of her darkened ale and kind of looks at you and goes, "So, what can I do for you? Did you deal with the issue already? Is my home safe?"
Not yet, just some questions.
"Sure. Feel free."
As I will look to Sindra, because Sindra's better at asking non-direct questions and not looking like an idiot to me.
Buddy, if you wanted me to ask questions, you should have told me that beforehand. I would have prepared something.
Sindra just looks at you as you look at Sindra, and Sindra just raises an eyebrow slightly, like, "What?"
God damn it!
You gotta tell me these things. You don't just
Internal screaming.
I love the idea of it. It's like a group project when you're like, you got the one guy who's in charge of making the like talking points, and then you walk, and then day of he brings in the thing, hands it to you, and goes, "So you're gonna talk about this," and you're like, "What?" "Oh, all right, fuck."
Out of character for any specific questions we want to ask.
Here, I'll lead with something. Here,
Thank you.
I had no warning. You want questions? And no, Cinder, ask some questions. All right. Fuck.
Cinder's just here to listen to guys and get about their blisters on their dicks randomly. Like, she wasn't ready for this.
Anything you saw this hag do, how it got in the manor, anything like that? Any spells it cast? Was it physically strong? Fast?
It did pick up my husband and his two brothers with a single hand and throw them against the wall. I'm pretty sure that nearly killed them. Had a staff that it smacked the one of them over the head pretty hard with. Oh, it did carry some weird shield thing. It had a strange pattern on it. What was it? She kind of like looks down at her drink and takes a sip of it and kind of thinks for a second and goes, "Ah, yes! A strange-looking 7-pointed star was on the shield. And it kept saying something. And she kind of begins to speak in primitive and goes, "We are the ones who will see the queen rise again. The first queen claims this territory. The demons must die." As she says this in primitive, she goes, "But I have no idea what it meant. She kept repeating this to us, and then it stole my..." And she kind of like takes a
shot.
second and kind of takes a sip. Okay, you see a couple of tears starting to stream down her eyes as James kind of says that.
I hate to do this on a crying woman.
You gotta do a sense
We're gonna
motive to
beat her
see
over
if
the
she's
head?
lying. Yeah, no, do it. If you roll that
Well,
once,
he
she's
does-
gonna notice. But
Well, while he does that, I think about 2 things
18.
that
Okay.
might need a roll.
sorry, what was that? Cinder?
After a sense motive, a couple things that I'm going to roll for
Okay.
information.
Someone else might want to do another one because
That's
I'm
fair.
not the greatest at them. But
What are you trying to gather with the sense motive, James?
how truthful she's being here.
From what you can tell, this seems to all be the truth of what she said, as far from what she understood it. Surprisingly, you think from what you can gather, it seems that the shock is what kind of implemented the memory so vividly into her mind. I mean, as you kind of think about, for a regular person, if you had to see your child literally almost or your husband and 2 of his brothers be thrown across the room and nearly killed with a single hit, that'd be pretty traumatic, James. I mean, you may not be fazed by that because you see Roland get slapped around a lot, but normal
There's
people.
also the fact that James does have a big trauma that's somewhat similar to the first crew.
It's true. That is true. Never forget the crew that died to the Horde and the Undead Beholder. But yeah, so roughly from what you could tell, she seems to be telling the truth. There does seem to be a few noticeable holes in her story, but from what you can gather, it seems to be more that she's not doing it on purpose. It's just stuff that she doesn't remember. More than likely, it wasn't important to her. But that's what you get roughly. So it seems she is telling the truth.
All right.
What were your rules, Cinder, that you were curious about?
One, how big a creature would have to be to use one hand to pick up 3 snowbirds tonight? Because I don't think you're doing that at large, which is ogre mage size.
So you can give me a knowledge nature for book smarts or survival based on your experience. So it'd be based on creatures you've fought.
Oh, why
We
not?
fought
Let's
up
do
to Gargantuan.
Experience is funny. Let's do it. What's my plus on this? Plus 14? Alright. Exactly a 20. I didn't roll great.
Not bad though. An arm that big, storm giants, giants, we'll just leave that as a general list. Giant kin, most likely.
Specifically the bigger giants then, not the... Because some giants are only large.
Yeah, the hill, you figure the hill and stone probably couldn't do this, neither could crystal giants, but pretty much any of the others probably could, including bog or fog, given their size. It's not likely if you have a mountain giant, but that is definitely a possibility. Hags definitely have the strength to throw a snowbeard easily across the room. Killing them would be something of an impressive feat, but if they had some sort of magical weapon that increased their throwing damage, in theory, it's possible. Otherwise, what comes to mind, the most common creature that's known to throw things really well or hit things really well, ogres.
Yeah, it's just ogre hands aren't big enough to grab 3 at once.
No, your guesstimation, if this is, this has to be a huge ogre. This is someone this is a unique creature that is, not lesser apex, but is, rising to that title.
Named creature.
Yeah, kind of like big old Sweet Tooth, or, what was that one you guys first fought that almost, turned himself into an apex?
Old Smiley?
Yeah,
Oh,
Old
no.
Smiley.
Yeah, the weird fluffy butt that I got his tail.
Yep. So what you figure is this guy's probably somewhere equivalent to a similar stage. With a decent ritual, this creature probably could turn itself into an apex monster. But noting ogres are recognized also as sentient species in most lands, so it's kind of a unique factor if they became it.
And then, what does Syndra think the odds are that this ogre's talking about the Painted Queen? I think was her title when he says first queen.
You can give me a knowledge history or a knowledge religion.
Oh, what am I better at? I think I'm equal with both. Yeah, okay. Oh no, I'm better. I have ranks in religion. I do? Holy shit.
Always helpful to deal with demons.
Religious.
Well, you did have to put some ranks in that for a class you were thinking of taking.
Yeah, but I have more in there than what I was gonna take.
Oh.
Helps to know things, though. 24. Nice. Here. There we go. And that's religion, you said, right?
Yeah.
So, something catches your attention with that mention. While James has 3 rough bloods who are all ogres, you do note that, well, you haven't been here with them, they were here long before you showed up yourself with this crew.
Yeah.
But Something interesting about them is that they have mentioned the Painted Queen before in passing when James had shown the latest collective of Pyrrhus book, kind of going through the pages and showing the new Swords of Pyrrhus volume that got released as its own kind of side book, being sold pretty much or handed out at pretty much every location you lot have been. You recall the ogres seemingly, or the Roughbloods seemingly recognizing the Painted Queen's name, which kind of stood out to you because you've learned they're not well-read individuals, but they seemed to, when James brought up the individual and was kind of reading the book out loud to the crew who were kind of curious about what had been written, they seemed to correct James on a few comments about her appearance and what she looked like, which kind of, it was interesting as you've never seen them to be religious. So as you kind of think about this, ogres, from your knowledge and what you've been able to experience, what little information that's written about them, does seem to be the case that they do worship the Painted Queen.
Fucking hell. We're walking into a cult issue.
Sindra just goes slightly pale once again.
No, Sindra just sighs. It's another fucking week.
It's just another Tuesday, isn't it?
God damn.
All right. Thank you for sharing your recollection with Rollman here as well, and allowing us to fill in the last few gaps we needed before we walked into the situation.
She nods and goes, I'm just happy that someone actually was willing to take up the job. It's been there for, God, weeks, and every group that's gone hasn't come out.
How many groups have gone?
God, I don't know, 6, 7?
How notable were these groups, I guess?
I don't know, I didn't ask. I was just told that some people had taken the quest on, a few of them were travelers, some were locals.
This is a roll that I'll probably need to make.
What's up?
Assuming an average adventuring group of 3 to 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
6, that'd be about, and let's assume the maximum, about 6, like she said. 24 people. Is that enough magic to do the ritual that we saw old Smiley do?
Interesting question. Give me a knowledge arcana check.
Wouldn't that depend on the strength of the individual person too?
It depends on their ages and too. Like,
It would. I will give you this. At the very least, James would already know. It would depend on the caster's capability, like as in for game mechanic wise, caster level.
Yeah,
because the lower the caster level, the more sacrifices they're going to need in theory.
Assuming they were comparable strength to the Forgotten Ghost, essentially. Well enough known, but not high level.
Yep.
17.
If they're around level 3 to 5 as a maximum, if there's at least half of those are mages, that's definitely enough magic. If most of those are warriors, like most snowbeards are, or clerics, well, if it's divine, they're gonna summon something way worse probably as you kind of think about it, given the experiences you've had thinking back on the Cataclysm moments. If they're just martial fighters, I mean, that would mean one of them would have to be some sort of caster that could use blood as a natural magical attunement, if you will, for their spellcraft. To your knowledge, that shouldn't be possible. So it kind of depends.
Blood magic is something that's a bit out of my wheelhouse, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, it depends on the consistency of the parties. Mages are extremely rare amongst parties. Most parties have maybe a cleric or a paladin, and the rest are typically, to your knowledge, fighters and barbarians. You get rangers and bards on rare occasions, but it's very rare. Druids very rarely travel.
So I'm gonna assume the breakdown of it to be about maybe 5 to 10% casters and the rest martial.
Yep. Which would mean there's a good chance you might be running into a creature that knows how to use blood magic. And as the Snowbeards already have a house that specializes in soulsmithing, I mean, well, you can put 2 to 2 together.
Okay. That's gonna make things a bit more dangerous, but... because that leaves 2 options and neither of them are pretty. Thank you, ma'am.
She smiles and nods at that and goes, Of course, if you need, as she kind of sniffles and rubs her nose a little bit, if you need anything else, I'll be here. I'm gonna be leaving in about a month. I have a new suitor that's coming to meet with me, and then I'll be traveling probably, if everything goes well, to his homeland. Going back out to the city and meeting with one of the many large rec members.
The large rats.
She nods and goes, yes, they're a very nice clan. One of the younger sons, cousins of what the main family is, offered a proposal of marriage, if everything goes well.
All right. I wish you luck in that endeavor.
She nods at that and smiles, kind of warmly as she kind of takes another sip of her beer.
As James will stand up and go to leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, Syndra?
No, I'm gonna wait to fill them in until we're out of here and
Same.
walking.
Oh, definitely
Okay.
same.
Yeah.
With what James figured out.
As you lot kind of start heading out of the tavern or the open market square, the sounds of the hammers kind of going in the Forge district as you pass, or the Forge square, kind of beginning to drown you out as you begin to pass by. A few watchers kind of seem to look on, watching people who work their crafts, hammering away at a few weapons, as some apprentices compete for a bit of showy glory as you three kind of head into the town and begin to find yourself amongst the masses.
As I will whisper to them what I figured out with the amount of adventures, and that from what I could tell, she was telling the truth.
James, they're not trying to become a greater creature. They're reviving a god.
That was
Well-
the other worry, because depending on what they have, magic-wise, they are going to call for something much worse.
Yes, they're trying to revive the first hag.
That's interesting. My assumption is when that thing ate their family had offered them a deal to not be eaten, to serve as a lure to bring in these adventurers.
Wouldn't be surprised.
So
Survive,
said it's truthful,
holes in your memory, lure people in.
especially after she was able to recite that.
Well, trauma
Acid
can
very
lock
easily.
memories into place as well.
Also, this ogre mage has to be far larger than average. No ogre mage, or even stronger than average ogre, could pick up, just through size, 3 creatures at once with one hand.
I don't even think Crack could without me enlarging him.
This thing is somewhere between lesser apex and a normal ogre.
Let's do our best to case the place. Do you think, James, you'll be able to tell how much, if this ritual is like an ongoing process or
I
whatever?
can do my best to check. I'm pretty sure Sindri could as well. Given that I've seen only the remnants of old Smiley's ritual, if you remember that fight.
Yep,
Mhm.
because Essa destroyed most of it.
Destroyed all of it. There was nothing
There was a
left.
big hole there left.
There was a
Yeah,
big
that-
hole.
that's what I'm saying, the hole was still there.
Essentially.
Well, the hole wasn't there beforehand.
And the shards on the sides of the hole were there to give an indication of, hey, there was something here that was big and circular. Yeah, give me a, let's call it, I'll take either Knowledge Arcana or Spellcraft in this case. Spellcraft will give you an idea for that specific spell. Knowledge Arcana would be more of a book smart thing.
Cameron, you do one, I'll do the other. We'll do both.
Ooh, alright.
You probably have higher knowledge Arcana than me.
My Arcana is a +9.
Mine is a +3. My spellcraft is higher, so
Yeah, my spellcraft is
What?
+8.
Damn.
yeah,
It
it'd
is
be
very
really good
clever.
just to have you do this, but you didn't see that spell specifically, so
Well,
Yeah.
I can do Knowledge Arcana if you want.
Sure.
Sure, let
You
you
want to do Arcana?
I have +7.
Roland
There you go.
surprisingly has had to learn about a lot of magic because of James.
Spellcraft. Oh my god.
Okay, I'll help with knowledge Arcana then.
Alright, you want to get an assist? Okay, well that's a 4. Alright, add to Roland's roll. Alright.
It turns a +7 to a +11.
As you think about it, roughly, given the amount of time that's gone on and the amount of adventures that have probably fed into this system, this situation, this ritual has to be near complete. like the only reason it wouldn't be, as you think between the two of you, is that they're waiting for another sacrifice, or they need something a specific time or day, or some sort of natural event to cast the spell. Roland, with your experience specifically to the old Smiley stuff, thinking back, it doesn't fit right for the Apex thing, only because of the fact that you recall the around the area there was a lot of death ore sticking out of the ground specifically. This would take an intense amount of magic. If old Sir Smiley just needed wizards, there was an entire town full of magic casters nearby that he could have easily just gone and grabbed. It would have been a lot less scary and dangerous than going with death ore. So that's the only thing that kind of catches your attention with that. Beyond that, immediately, as again with how much time's gone on, there's no way this creature's not near done. It has to be waiting for something, or it's finishing the last of its ritual.
Well, I reckon we probably move a bit hastily. It either is finishing up or still needs a little bit extra to complete, or a specific time. But seeing as the last party to go there probably wasn't near, like, it was longer ago than a couple days. I doubt it's like a time of day thing. Otherwise, they would have done it.
Wait.
It could be requiring a specific date, so that could mean it requires the.
Are there any
so-called
significant
solstices.
dates coming up?
Give me a moment. Let me pull up something. I'm just pulling up some notes for myself. Because I gotta remember what day you guys are on. Ah, yes, okay. As you kind of think about it, none to your knowledge, the next big day that would be coming up, roughly would be somewhere in the chaos when, or in about 2 months when the summer basically starts. Otherwise, there's not really anything. The major holidays that kind of were going on already passed, which was on the 2nd, the Great Planting, and then, of course, on the 1st of the same month was the first day of spring. So, beyond that, yeah, to your knowledge, there's no holidays.
Full moon.
Give me a knowledge. We'll call that a survival check. Yeah.
Because that's also an option. Full or new moon, because survival. Okay. Thank you, wisdom.
As you think about it, the next full moon is about roughly in 2 days, and it will not just be a full moon, but it will be a blood moon.
Yeah, there.
There's a blood moon coming in a couple days.
So we do this now. Like, we go now, right?
Yeah. We're gonna have to. If you see anything we might need on the way, go ahead and we can stop and purchase it. Bombs, fire.
All right, let's spend the next 2 days
table.
purchasing things.
No.
I've accepted my fate, by the way. I am the bait in this mission because he specifically said death to all demons. I am so the bait for this mission.
I will note,
It's
Roland,
either that or I awaken my demon blood. Do you still have a vial of water?
As you're looking about with your search check, you do notice there are a few what look to be younger snowbeards. Many of them look what looks to be not bad, like cheap apparel, but like on the lower end of the merchant side of apparel, which is kind of surprising for children to be wearing and playing around in. That seem to be kind of keeping a close nearness to you, keeping quiet, but seem to always be playing as you start to notice they've been following you roughly since you had come out of the market tavern.
It was weird.
Sense motive.
On what? Rollerman? Alright. Rollerman looks like he's hungry and thinking about all the things he can buy on his shopping spree.
I'll keep an eye on it, but I'm not going to say anything right now because
Okay.
it'd be nothing.
Okay. But as you the three of you kind of continue walking through the town, Syndra thinking about the idea of being bait as the three of you head, you do notice the children are continuously following you, Rollman. Syndra, you hear a few, seemingly something that kind of catches your attention as the whispers continue, as you guys head through one of the side roads that goes towards the lesser noble district, kind of the tie between the high merchants and the lower end nobles that have mansions, but not like mansions. You know,
They're
Very nice
manors,
house.
they're not estates.
yeah. What was that, Roman as well?
Very nice houses.
Yes. As you pass by, you do start to hear a few people that are kind of some merchants that seem to get quiet as you pass by, and many of them seemingly whispering something along the lines of, "You see those people? Those are the Ironhearts. Hey, I recognize that one. That one's the demon that killed Odger. I heard James managed to kill Odger with a single hit of his hammer." Another one kind of going, "I heard James is here to steal Magrel's throne. I bet he's going to break up the monopoly amongst the merchants and destroy everything." Another kind of merchant. You kind of, as you continue heading through, kind of mumbling around along to what looks to be a commoner. It looks to be a little bit wealthier, kind of setting down a coin person, buying what looks to be a nice little dagger that kind of glimmers with a purple gelatin-like material kind of on the edges of it. A merchant kind of leans over and seems to whisper, "Be careful. The Ironheart Merchant Company is probably going to kill a bunch of people while they're in town."
My God, when did my reputation go this far in the shitter?
When someone started spreading rumors about you, obviously.
I'm gonna have to build an orphanage, damn it.
I mean, Cinder did literally just murder someone.
I did not.
I've done
Syndrome.
nothing. You can't prove it.
All right.
I have no. He worked himself to exhaustion. I had nothing to do with it.
But as you continue kind of heading through, you start to notice there aren't many merchants kind of now as you get to more of the like bigger houses. More now guardsmen kind of coming through. A few people kind of walking past that look like they're dressed as servants. Many of them in commoner's clothing, but with wearing house brands or markings or sigils upon their chest or clothing. As they kind of run from here and there to gather things, trying to avoid the guards and the guard captains who kind of pass through. As you lot pass by, a single guard kind of looks over at you lot. His helmet kind of pluming with a bright greenish feathery design to it. The helm itself glittering with gold and having the sigil of How Strong Helm on the side of it. The other side looking to be a different sigil of a broken shield. But this gentleman kind of dressed a bit better, seemingly kind of begins to walk over you. His more common snowbeard features kind of seem to put him to look more of an average man if it wasn't for his beautiful armor. As he walks up, looking at Rollman and eyeing Cinder and goes, "I am going to take a guess. You are either James and the Ironheart Merchant Companies, or you've come to rob a bunch of rich people because there was a thieves guild that offered you a high reward for it."
James is gonna pipe up. We're the first one, honestly.
"Ah, nice to meet you. I am the actual guard captain, the entire guard captain, my name is Gelm Featherhammer of the Lesser Clan Broken Shield, formerly of Strong Shield."
Good to meet you.
He nods and has, "I'm gonna guess, so with you being James, Tall One must be the supposed legendary swordsman Rollman. God, your reputation is horrible around these parts. And the woman with the horns, I'm gonna guess, is the ice demon I keep hearing all these tales about as people keep reporting you as a danger in my town."
Kind of rude. I haven't done anything.
Well, lesser demons are always a problem. We've been hunting them, trying it to extinction for the most part. Though some of the nobles keep fucking them, and that's the problem with bringing them back. As he kind of eyes you up and down, Cinder, with the realization.
Look,
I mean,
I am from a house that are known for having demonic powers. That's not my fault.
she was a he and was a part of Frost Fury. Is the last.
I'm very well informed, young James. I'm very familiar. I'm also familiar enough to know that you lot did kill that poor merchant that was posing as a honest salesman. A little bit rough, in my opinion, in the justice. But I'll let it slide this time, given Magrel's not here to deal with you lot. But I must ask, why are you here? In this
James
part
was
of town?
surprised to hear that there's a murder accusation on him now.
He moved past
You're
us,
bro-
so we moved past as well.
It's true.
We have a job from the, well, what was the House of Broken Helm? Or Cracked Helm?
I'm familiar. My cousin married into the family. One of the, I think the main daughter's sisters, I believe it was. I think her younger sister. Nice family. Decent custard they used to make. Decent ale, too. Sad to hear about the debts.
Debts?
Oh, yeah. They ended up borrowing from every family in the area after the whole thing fell apart. The husband was a notorious gambler. He became a decent bet-a-paw only because of the fact that he kept losing so much money he had to go out on the merskiest ventures from the Lord himself to gain that money back. Risked his life left and right. Him and his brothers, quite capable kids too. Grew up with him, watched the oldest of them manage to lift half a house up with his single arm. Strong little bastard.
Kind of narrow my eyes hearing that kind of guy was thrown across the room by an ogre.
Would you say he'd be able to take on an oddly large ogre?
I mean, I once saw him go toe-to-toe with Odger. I mean, he didn't do well, but he didn't get knocked down, which that in its own right is a feat.
Personal experience, yes.
It looks at you, James, as James gets that, like, long 1,000-yard stare at that.
You know, actually, I'm curious, since you're the guard captain, I was actually curious,
No, it's
why is no one doing anything about the giant monster in town?
giant monster in town. What do you mean?
I'll produce the Hag Ate My Baby quest.
Looks at this and goes, that explains why there's a bunch of mercenaries parked out front guarding the damn place. Huh. I figured
Now-
the family hired some local security. He kind of hands it back to you.
Guarding isn't letting nothing out or letting nothing in.
Oh, no, now they had a couple adventures pass in there. I just figured they were sending them out to because the husband had worked up such a debt he couldn't afford to take normal work anymore. I mean, venturing pays well.
The husband's dead.
As
Really?
are the other three men.
Oh.
The other two, the brothers,
Other two.
supposedly
Other
all killed one monster in one swing.
That'd be impressive. I haven't seen any creature other than Odger Stronghelm himself be able to do something like that. Or, oh, your friend Rollman there is supposedly rumored to, but I doubt he did it, given... As he looks at Rollman's, like, not small forearms, but not, like, they're not massive.
Mm-hmm.
This was up before we ever arrived, too, so...
You know, I don't keep up on the quest boards, nor do I take a look in town. Most are in the tavern. None of that stuff's to our business.
That always strikes James as odd, because that's an easy way to find out criminals that are or find out problems that are already in the town, and deal with them, and work with administrators.
If we happen to fail, you might want to keep up with it. I mean, if that thing's doing half of what I think it's doing.
Ain't my business. That's what the Bedapaw deal with. We guards are not to engage with monsters. We were told that specifically
Then you
by
might
the
want to gather up
strongholds.
the Metapod if we don't come back, because in 2 days' time, it'll become a problem for the city itself. Otherwise,
I'll file the report, but I'm not the first one to do it. If the city hasn't reacted at this point, there ain't nothing I can do.
Filing the report's all we ask.
He nods at that and says, "Yeah, not a problem. I wish you luck. If that's the case," as he kind of looks back over his shoulder at one of the houses that you can kind of see far in the distance has a couple of individuals standing out front of it. Kind of looks back at you and goes, "I can send some guards in behind you, but I doubt they do much more than become cannon fodder."
Yeah.
Please don't.
we don't
Odds
need
are
them more blood.
odds are the ogres using creatures to fuel a ritual. More people just cause more problems.
Oh, I wonder if he's part of that druid group that came through town.
A druid group.
Oh yeah, all the local lords are starting to collect and trying to get druids on their side. Say it's cheaper than trying to find wizards or sorcerers. Wizards take years, and you gotta be book smart, something fierce. And sorcerers, it's a drop in a bucket if you find one.
Given all the demon bloodlines in the Snowbeard lands, finding sorcerers shouldn't be the hardest thing.
Yeah,
No,
but
wait.
think about how many families want to put forward their kin are demon blooded, unless they're demons. They'd be hunted by those who service specifically towards that. There's a clan that does that itself.
Fair.
Yes.
Did the
Cedric?
druid group have anyone? Let's see. Anyone? What races were they? Something dragonkin, dwarf, something. A snowbeard, something else.
Oh, all snowbeards. There's 3 snowbeards amongst them. They haven't carried weird staves. They had some slaves. Some short fellas, like Drakekin looking, kind of stubby, a little bit grayish in coloration for the scales. Not sure what the hell it was, but they
They
followed them along.
they mention anyone? Maybe someone named Lagrosa.
Not to my knowledge. Never heard that name on my vacation to Dragon's Crown recently, though.
Because someone was opening Fey gates in the town in the earlier weeks, and only druids can do that.
No, I knew about that. I'd gone down to the Breton Bee Emporium. Was trying to deal with that. Stabbed me a kelpie. Managed to almost kill the thing, or at least I irritated enough to run away from me, or swim away rather. Damn little bastards are just irritable.
Yes, I went and found the open point kelpies were coming from. There were multiple druid portals open, letting them flood into the water.
Oh, you're the fella. You know, I had heard about you. The Bright Bee Emporium had hung up a painting of you and your actions. They did a whole painting of you standing in a cave while a couple adventurers fought some creatures. Beautiful piece.
That sounds like Brightbane.
I don't know the fella myself, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah. I mean, it could be. To be fair, we have had a lot of druids recently, but I mean, they didn't seem like bad folk.
I'd just keep a close eye on the powerful druids, because one of them did that, and they're probably going to come back at some point.
You know, they did go and visit the old church, and you know, Magro doesn't trust anybody, as he's told us amongst the captains, to deal with anybody from that damn church. The Serzeki worshippers, the few that are left, just keep coming in, and we keep trying to get them to leave, but Magro says we can't tear down the temple now. Odger said we couldn't tear down the temple, just in case. And now we're getting this. Maybe I wonder if they're... Kind of thinks for a second, kind of rubbing his beard, and goes, I wonder if they're related in some way.
They might be, and we can investigate the links should we get this done and come back with ourselves intact.
He nods and goes, yeah, I think I'll set a guard, with the way you're talking, I think I might set a guard watch outside.
Would be wise.
I would just warn Magro when he gets back in a day.
He is fighting a dragon.
Yes, I know. He took, Hrathmir, damn fucking Venkos priest.
Maybe he's hoping he won't survive.
I just heard him shouting something about someone needing to be regenerated a third time.
God giggle, laughs at that a little bit and goes, yeah, that's Hrathmir's job. Odger used to use them to regrow the limbs of the knights when he'd go a little bit too hard. I guess Magro decided to take value in that. But Gum kind of looks between a lot of you and goes, alright, I think I'll go follow this report and get some men set up. I wish you gentlemen luck, and lady. Yeah, and he kind of steps aside.
Thank you.
No, I get it. Yeah.
As we'll continue on.
To our death.
As an emergency, Syndra, you should be able to drink one of those vials we got without a problem.
You don't even know. I never put them away. I have so many of those bottles on me.
Oh, God.
And if it really comes down to it, I guess I could drink one.
Are ogre mages arcane?
They are listed as entropic, but they can't. They do cast both druidic and wizard spells. So
We could stop at least half their spell casting.
No, that's not why I was checking. But Oh, their favorite class is sorcerer, so more often than not, they're arcane. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
They are high
I know.
charisma characters. But as you kind of begin to head towards the manor, seeing the beautiful building kind of extending out, it looks to be what you'd expect of a lower end noble to a high end merchant. Seeing the beautiful marble and slate mixture of brickwork. A couple of large, grandiose windows that look to be slightly cracked and darkened from what you can tell along the sides of the buildings. A large door that seems to be a bit too big for the average snowbeard, but is just small enough to be able to easily be pushed still as needed. But from what you can tell, it looks to be split up almost like a large cross in a sorts. From the design of it, I guess you can gather that it looks like it has a main meeting hall as the center building, and the rest look to be some sort of bedrooms or side rooms for the building itself. A couple of large, what looks to be gardens, kind of almost pop up amongst the four quadrants, allowing the windows to kind of peer out and view them, and it looks surprisingly well taken care of. Though a little bit darkened over here, as you notice many of the ever-burning torches around, ever-burning candles around are seemingly flickering and seeming to be losing their light.
I would like to see if magic's being pulled from this area.
Give me a spellcraft check.
Absolutely. James, use that magicness if you know.
Spellcraft, my friend, spellcraft.
No, we're not crafting spell.
28.
Look into the magic.
Yep. From what you can tell, it seems the magic itself is being not only drained from the magic items around the area, seeing the ever-burning candles flickering and losing magic, and that seems to be drawing towards the manor. But the plants themselves, as you realize, seem to have some sort of magic spell on them, and you do recognize that they seem to all be drained of their magic. There's no way they should look this healthy.
A lot of magic's being pulled and drained away from here. Those plants shouldn't be that healthy, and what effect would this have on our items as we walked in?
From what you can tell, if it seems that everything that's being drained are from set places that have been here for a while, as if the caster would know that they were there. In theory, it shouldn't affect you as long as they don't know that you have a specific magic item on you.
As long as we aren't carrying a specific magic item, meaning, I'm guessing, the boards and anything akin to ever-burning torches, we should be alright.
No,
Dude, they're
I
gonna
have
have
an
to
everburning torch.
I'm wearing so many items that do literally nothing right now. They're gonna have to figure out what to drain.
So yeah, to clarify, James, I think you misunderstood that. Let me clarify for your own help here. What I mean, as in, it takes you have to, if you want to drain magic from an item that someone is wearing, you have to know A, how that item works, and B, how the magic in that item would work. So
Also get a save usually.
yeah, so there's a lot more. But whereas as you look around, these items, the things that are flickering are things that are stagnant. They're things that are always here.
There are things that aren't moving, but I said that, so I understood that. James was making the assumption that if Roland's walking around with his ever-burning torch out, they're going to drain the ever-burning torch because they know how that works.
Okay. I'm just making sure. All right.
Yeah, anything akin to, meaning that spells that already work like the candles work, ever-burning torch, would be drained.
Just making sure you understood. Okay.
I don't know what spells on the other stuff, so I can't make an assumption.
That's true.
Okay.
So,
Should we get ahead to this?
Rollman, I think you should be front with me. In front of you. Actually, you know what? I think I can take a hit this time. I'll be in the front.
I'm gonna do something.
You said, like, all right, you're on the front, and then me in front of you. Now, like, that doesn't make any sense.
You and I in the front, Syndra behind us.
I'd
Or
like
Syndra in the middle.
Okay.
Well,
I'd like to walk up to one of the plants that should be dead.
Oh.
And I want to cast Speak with Plants and see if it talks.
As you
So
do,
what's happening?
is Speak with Plants, do you have to be able to touch the plant?
No, I touch myself and I can talk to plants.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh, hey,
phrasing.
don't touch yourself.
No, word it like that.
A quick boob grope and Syndra's talking to plants.
I was just more imagining Cinder start like stripping and becoming one with nature.
Yeah.
As a true druid. But no, as you cast this, you give me a will save real quick, because you will be technically interacting with it either way. Based on spell wording.
Don't worry. I cannot roll lower than a 16. So let's find out.
Let's see if you get a nat 1.
I did not.
Damn!
Let's see. That is a 33.
33. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. As you realize that there is a minor illusion cast on the plants. I know, shockingly.
Yeah.
But as you speak with plants, walking over to one of the dead bushes, as you look at it, what are you going to say?
I don't know if I can talk to dead plant space. We're about to find out.
Kill me.
I'm just gonna be like, hey, what'd you see? You see anything interesting?
Okay. It starts in screaming in insane pain as you begin to hear a piercing shout of, "It's eating me! It's draining my insides!" as it screams and shouts at a high volume, piercing your head like a headache.
Why are you laughing? This is a serious matter. It's dying.
We can speed up that process or try to
what
go
the
stop
fuck?
it. One of the two.
I just.
Does Cinder just fall over dying right now?
From the inside.
Huh? What's up, Roland?
Is Cinder just like cackling with laughter right now?
No, I think this is fully the player dying.
I just think it'd be funny if Cinder was doing this too.
It's just me. Cinder's just staring at the plant in confusion.
That doesn't answer my fucking question. That's the look on Syndra's face.
Okay, so anyway, while you're dying, so who's draining you?
The plant continues to scream in intense pain, not giving you really anything else.
Try a different plant.
I can tell you speak to all plants. I'll look at another one.
As Roland kind of like prods you to do this, and you're kind of standing up and walking over to what looks to be a beautiful apple tree with these blue apples kind of glimmering as they do on the branch. As you walk over looking at the dead tree, Syndra, seeing its sad, broken look and its loss of any sort of life, looking at it, what do you say?
Are you gonna scream in pain as well?
Rolls a d20. Oh, that's better.
It screams extremely loudly. Give me a fortitude save.
Oh.
God damn it. Stop screaming at me. 25.
I'm trying to
25.
help.
You succeed as the piercing headache does not seem to amplify. This thing is dying. It seems to give a death scream like no other, and then goes quiet.
Oh. Well, what are they
You
saying?
could try the grass.
No, I have an idea. Hold on. I would like to cast plant growth to start rejuvenating the plant.
Oh, that's nice. What does plant growth actually do, though?
Depends on the variation of the spell. Causes normal vegetation within a long range. So this is 400 feet plus 40 times 9. Really far.
360 feet, so 760 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
To become thick and overgrown, the plants entwine to form a thicket. You must hack through. Here's the important part. Here's one I'm actually using. Enrichment. This effect targets plants within a range of 1/2 mile, raising their potential productivity over the course of next year. I'm returning their vitality, more or less, to let them start growing.
Alright. As you begin to cast that, you watch as the plants begin to flourish for a moment, and almost as quickly they seem to wither and begin dying on again as the spell continuously almost acts like a fast healing to the plants as they seem to rejuvenate, their screams getting ever louder and piercing as if now they are being tortured by being brought back to their sanity and
Oh,
from
no.
their lack of consciousness.
All right, that answers my question.
Cinder
the
kind of
first
wipes
note-
off her knees and stands up. Good.
Yeah, the first note screaming, I cut it at the stem to let it be free of its
As
torment.
Cinder kind of smacks it with the scimitar and a single hit lopping the bush off as the thing falls over and the illusion is broken on it. As you both see, as the plant shows the very dead look of the and decayed look of the bush, nothing but a rough wooden stump that is more grayish brown and wilted from the inside.
So anyway, the plants are screaming in pain about being drained to death.
That way you chop that bush.
Because it was screaming bloody murder as it was dying. So I put it out of its misery.
Mercy killing. Understandable.
Amen.
Should I take down the tree?
Leave it be. That one's an asshole.
It just screams louder, so it's it's just mean.
You don't know that.
And then I'm saying as a player.
Okay.
Well then, we can assume they're most likely in a basement of sorts then, if they're pulling that much from
What?
the...
Why?
Well,
I mean, they're going to be in any large room. A ritual circulation powers are not going to be small.
we really
Very
should have
true.
asked for a floor plan of this place.
Most
So
rituals
we-
have to be in the center point. So if they're draining the plants of the whole perimeter, which we could walk around the thing and find out very quickly, they're probably going to be in the center of the manor.
Mercenary just
Who
kind
gives
of
the
looks.
first door?
The two mercenaries are just kind of eyeing you two as you're playing in the garden over off to the side.
Oh yeah, there's people up front, right?
Yeah, they're just kind of standing there in their full suits of what looks to be plate mail and like scimitars on their sides and shields on their arms.
And they didn't stop Cinder
Nope.
from doing some trimming.
But they seem to be watching you both with intent, or all three of you with intent.
Hey, what you looking at?
The snowbeard mercenary kind of looks over at you, Rollman, kind of snapping to, and kind of goes, "You! What the fuck are you looking at?
Look at you looking at me.
I don't like you pointed ears."
That's an insult.
Oh, I'm glad you can comprehend.
What are you doing up front of this place?
The hell should I tell you, simpleton?
Because we were paid to clear it out?
Ain't my problem.
Because we're better than you.
Kiss my dwarven ass.
No thanks. I
You-
think you should
Not
probably bend over and kiss it yourself.
You and all your lesser demon kind of like walks over and like walks up to Syndra's, gets in Syndra's face and looks her up and down and goes, "You lot," as he kind of like spits almost with every word and goes, "You lot are nothing but the filth that should have been removed from the nobility. I know it, you lot, you disgusting demonkin."
I nod
You
to
gonna-
myself.
You gonna stop us from going in?
No, ain't my job. Wait,
Then
go
what
ahead.
is your job?
Syndra, what you gonna say?
I was gonna say, Sindrit nods up and down slowly, looks him in the eyes, and says, "If you don't back off, I'll fucking kill you."
Damn.
Give me an intimidation check.
I mean, hey, say it to him straight, I guess.
Damn right.
How intimidating is Sidra?
19.
More intimidating than James.
Damn.
I have a +6 intimidation with my passive buffs.
19. As you kind of say this to the guy, you see a moment hesitation as he kind of seems to lose steam for a moment, furrowing his brow, and goes, your smell is just not appetizing anyways, as he kind of like steps back and looking at the three of you, and goes, "Again, my job here is just to stand out here and guard. You can do, if you're going in, that's your funeral. The last group that went in there just screamed their heads off and died."
Can you tell me about the last group that went in there then?
Nope.
Was it?
I
was
will
it
fish
the
out a silver piece.
Oh yeah, I mean that works.
Looks you up and down and goes, "Sweetheart, I'm a mercenary. You think I'm worth that little?"
I think the information's worth that little.
"I work with
And
the
with your
cryptic
attitude-
cabal. You ain't gonna get nothing out of me for a silver piece."
I'm going to smile. Oh, good. I work for Greg, their boss.
Puts an eyebrow up and goes, "Ain't their boss, sir. Cryptic Cabal don't answer to no one."
When
And
they
you're...
have a fiefdom in his territory, or the equivalency, they kind of owe him. I'll put in a good word for them, and you'll get tipped.
It ain't none of my business. What my business is right here or right now. And I says the information ain't worth a silver piece, but it's worth more.
Here, James, why don't you give me a moment with our friend?
Ooh,
I'm gonna do the walk around the property to see how far the plant drain's going. Then
Roland,
give Syndra the time.
Could you go with him? We know James' luck.
That's true. I just look at the mercenary with pity, and then I go with Jade.
Kind of looks at Roland for a sec, kind of give him a raised eyebrow, and looks up back at Syndra as James and Roland kind of start heading off. Kind of looks over.
Just don't kill him, because that make it probably an issue for Magro.
Kill? Oh, no.
Oh, you're gonna kill me, you filthy demonkin. Oh yeah, I'd like to see that. I killed plenty of your kind.
You're gonna tell me what I want, or I'm gonna put you in an 8-month coma.
Oh my god.
You ain't gonna do a damn thing. And he kind of steps up, his chest up.
He's got a friend, right?
Yeah, sitting off to the side, who's watching this whole thing.
Look up how spell works. Yeah. Does he look like he just doesn't care, or does he look like he's gonna back this guy up if I start a fight?
I mean, he has his weapon drawn. As you look at it, he does have his scimitar out, but he doesn't seem interested in starting the fight. But yeah, you'd guesstimate he'd probably jump in here.
Do you have the same belief? So look at the other guy. Not gonna answer any questions.
The guy looks at you and goes, "Not my job to ask questions, miss. I'm just here to follow his orders."
I nod. Can I get a will save from the aggressive man?
Oh. Give me a second. Seven.
He's unconscious.
What spell did you cast?
This is hibernate. He will be in suspended animation for a week, at least, before he has to make a new save.
It's a frostburn spell. Yeah, that's why. Okay. Every time I wonder, it's just, yep, okay. Oh, it's 1 week per oh.
Yes.
Damn.
And then I dust my hands. And I go, okay. So my questions. Look the other guy.
Guy looks at you, kind of looking at the down guard, and looks back at you and goes, I've got orders not to answer anything. I'm sorry.
My friend, I can keep doing this until I find someone that will. Until I find.
Yeah, and you won't find anyone else other than the two of us. The rest of the unit's gone off to the tavern to drink.
I see. So since he's unconscious, he can't give you orders to do anything, right?
I mean, you're technically right.
I start going through his pockets.
Kind of looks down at you, kind of watches you do it, and kind of goes back to standing in his position, kind of shrugging. And ain't his fight as he kind of stands there with the scimitar still in his hand, ready in case Syndra tries something. And his eyes are watching Syndra, but does not do anything as Syndra starts digging through the guy's pockets. Give me a sleight of hand check. And are you looking for something specific, or are you just taking whatever you can?
Anything actually of value. If you have a dagger, I don't care. For example.
Okay.
A letter of appointment might be nice to find.
Oh, that'd be cool. What? It's not called sleight of hand, is it? No, it is. Just way down there. Okay, there it is. I'm not the best at this, but I'm not bad either. 17. Could be worse.
17. You find his coin purse. It's filled with about 10,000 silver pieces.
Sick.
As well as the only thing of value on him, as you kind of look, is he has a ring on his finger that has what looks to be a goat ram, kind of designed into the gemstone, and recognizing a magical signature coming from it. This seems to be the only magical item this guy has on him.
Is that a Ring of the Ram?
I mean, you can give me a knowledge arcana because this would be a book smart set thing. So you've never ran into one.
I
of these.
will. Like, I'm so down for a free Ring of the Ram. Are you kidding me? That sounds awesome. What's my arcana? +9. Okay.
Let's see what he can do.
25.
25. Okay. So in good news, it is a Ring of the Ram. Bad news, it has one charge, and then you're pretty sure this thing's going to break.
Fuck it, man. That's a get out of jail free card.
You kind of slide it off of his finger. It's a little tight. As you notice, the little rust ring around his where the finger was sitting. As you pull it off, kind of looking in the inside of the initials, it reads, "To my dearest, I love thee and for our son. Thank you for all these years you've given us."
Damn.
Sucks to suck, idiot. As I go to find the other two.
The other guard kind of looks down at you and kind of gives a light, kind of out of the corner of his mouth and goes, "He's been fucking more whores on the side than you'd believe. He deserves it." As he kind of turns his eyes and looks the other way.
Seems like the type. So normally I'd force you torture, answer questions, but you seem nice, so I'll leave you be.
I appreciate that. I didn't want to have to kill you myself, so I guess same to you.
Oh, that's cute. As I start walking off to find the other two.
He got called cute by what is essentially a beautiful demon.
That's true.
I want that pointed out.
Yeah, but I mean, the guy clearly wasn't willing to back down, or wasn't willing to deal with that. As we jump over to James and Rollman, as you two kind of head off, leaving Sindra to deal with the mouthy guard for a moment. As you head around the side of the building, as we kind of rewind time for a moment here, looking around, you do notice it's built almost like a giant cross, like I mentioned, James. From what you can tell, it seems to have a long central hall, seemingly the entryway into what you guess to be the main study or speaking room, and then the off branches seem to be bedrooms that, as unfortunately, the windows in the main hall seem to all be blocked up with what looks to be chunks of wood. Many looks like broken tables and such. The windows in the bedrooms look to be completely open and not open, but completely unblocked and seem to be untouched, seemingly as if no one slept in the rooms for days, if not weeks. As you and Roman kind of do a little skulking around and looking inside. You can give me a spot or a search check if you're looking for something specific, though.
Roland, would you like to search? I will run a spot just to
Well,
get a general.
no, this
lay
is
of
a search
the
for
room.
both of you in this situation.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'm looking for traps.
Okay.
I'm trying to see. I don't know what I'm trying to see. I'm gonna. Actually, I do. I have an idea. I'll be looking out for if the rooms look like they've been. Well, no, I'm not.
Like they've been what?
Well, you already said they hadn't been slept in, but have they been used otherwise?
Oh,
Like the doors left open carelessly, or have they been shut?
I would say with a 9, yeah, you notice almost all of them have their doors shut. The rooms look completely untouched. Like, you can see clear dust on the ground where footprints would easily show, and there's nothing. If someone was using it, they're either a ghost or they don't have to step on the ground and they are weightless, or rather windless overall. As you kind of look in, you can even see cobwebs beginning to form on some of the on one of the beds, clearly showing that something has kind of decided to take a residence here.
I don't like spiders. Why
no.
did it have to be spiders?
Roll
He's taken from age.
Yes, from age, not like thankfully not like actual. At least you don't see an actual spider in there. Rollman, as you look in, you don't see any clear traps. It's creepy though how each of the main hall windows seem to be blocked off. Like even the broken bits seem to be completely pushed up against, and there's some weight as you kind of try like pushing a little bit just with your sword to see if you can move it to get a better look inside. There's something heavy almost sitting on it, and it stinks something fierce as you get close by. But as you look in the side bed or in the bedrooms, none of them seem to be open or disturbed, and you don't see any noticeable traps. The gardens look immaculate, besides the fact of when you get close and see the minor image vanish before your eyes and see the deadness of them. But otherwise, yeah.
What's it smell like specifically, or can I just it just smells
Um,
bad?
Roughly from what you would equate it to, it smells like a mixture of a dying individual, like that rot smell. Not of a corpse, but of a wound that's kind of beginning to
It's
wilt
festering.
and fester. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. As well as the smell of what almost smells like dried and many days old blood. It seems to be quite strong in there. Beyond that, then there's of course the strong smell of sewage, which, as you kind of note, I mean, pretty common for what happens with bodies. So,
They definitely shit themselves.
and given the snowbeard diet, we won't go into that. But yeah, as you kind of get the intense smell, you don't hear anything, either of you, which is even creepier. It's almost surprisingly like it's magically silenced inside the.
Can I roll a spellcraft to see if there is a silent spell
Sure.
active?
Yeah. There does look to be, as you see Rollman kind of lightly try and shove on one of the tables that are like kind of really pushed up against the windows. That they're a cracked piece of the window with his blade. It doesn't make a single sound, as you notice, and seeing all the magic, James, you're almost 100% sure that there is some sort of a spell that is being made to silence the area the area inside from the outside.
That doesn't make sense then, because they heard. He claimed to have heard screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Shit's not adding up.
Something's wrong.
Royce, I didn't want to play murder mystery. I don't want to find out why there are bodies in the river. Please stop.
You know, when I was young, I always wanted to be a cop detective because my grandfather liked to play detective with me and make me think like that. So you're going to learn the experiences I had.
It was Mr. Mayonnaise with the butt plug in the basement.
Shit, he already figured it out. Damn. Alright, well, fuck. Time to write a new plot.
Time to kill Mr. Mayonnaise. I do have one bag of holding left. I'm just bringing the building down, guys. Get away.
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness.
But
The high explosives.
As the two of you kind of make it to the back of the building, you see as Cinder kind of comes walking up a little bit faster paced, as she seems to be kind of admiring a ring now on her finger. She kind of moves it about.
Just rob the man?
Oh, I think Cinder's on mute. I think she stepped away.
Ask those questions. We have to have something called plausible deniability.
I can clearly see it. That's not. They didn't have that before.
No, hey, look. So he
She
didn't know.
found it on the ground.
No, he didn't know much, but he was offering. He's willing to offer this one-use ring to help us in our endeavors. You know, he was very understanding once I explained the situation.
Sure.
How much? You know what? No, I'm not going to. James knows better than to ask.
All right. Other than that, can't really see anything inside. Things have definitely
It's under
died
a silent spell.
in there. It smells like poop and old wounds and blood.
And it is under a silent spell that is constantly active, so he was bullshitting when he said he heard people screaming.
Does that mean I can smash a window and go in without anyone knowing?
I mean, maybe.
I mean, the only windows that are unlocked are the bedrooms, and I'm laying which the doors are blockaded.
I didn't see any traps, but that doesn't mean there isn't any.
And the bedrooms haven't been entered at all for a long time. Or the person entering them can float, or is weightless. Is there a back door?
How tall are the rooms?
Roughly about 30 feet in height, and no, there is not a back door.
See, this is where people keep making mistakes. You make a back entrance.
And
That way
how
you
tall
can
are
escape.
the doors into said rooms?
Most of them are between about roughly 10 feet tall in height.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I kind of narrow my eyes at the doors, and I'm like, the creature in there is at least 16 feet tall. I don't think he can get through the doors. I don't think he can get.
As you kind of get... Oh, go ahead.
Makes sense why they haven't been open then, because there's no reason to go in them.
And as this was, as I'm looking at my notes, something to mention, Rollman, with your James, with your search check from earlier, I will note you do see that even on the walls there are still like weapons, like family weapons, heirlooms that are roughly not like battle weapons, but like something that they keep from the olden
They're
days.
showpieces.
Yeah. And like armor and jewelry like still in there. So clearly this place hasn't been robbed.
All up in there, and it hasn't been robbed yet. Given the mercenaries outside, that's surprising, but at least
Well, I don't
we talked to.
I don't think anyone that's gone in has come out, James. They might have tried.
Oh, that ups the fucking number.
Oh. What do you want to do? Go through a window that's probably trapped in some way, or go through the front door?
Well, I doubt the windows are trapped. We can test it though.
If you're seeing heirlooms in these rooms, a thief would have come by, opened the window that's unlocked, gone in, grabbed the shit, and got out.
If it's trapped, then when I break this window with this stick, it'll go off with us out here.
As Cinder turns to do so, kind of like as almost with like a joking manner, each of you give me a hide check real quick, just to see how stealthy you guys kind of are as you stand next to one of the back windows.
Ooh.
Let's see, this is minus.
Yeah, how bad are you at hiding, bro?
I mean,
it went up a little bit.
Oh,
19. I would make the argument you're standing still, but you know what? To be fair, you might move, so you know it makes more sense.
Hey, Grumpy, also 19.
Even if I'm standing still, I have
fair.
a -8 overall.
You know what?
We
fair.
hide in the same way. We hide in the same way, Grumpy.
Nice. Oh, okay.
hey, positive.
Not natural one.
As you see, as you all three kind of look over at the sudden, like, almost massive sound that kind of goes off as a boom of the door, the back door to the furthest back bedroom, it slams open, and you see a old-looking, snowbeard woman, her big, what looks to be large glasses kind of around her eyes, her cloth showing what looks to be a mix of leather and almost cloth-like armor she seems to be wearing, as it is covered in blood, and you notice that the back of her, where her legs should be, there's nothing but bone seemingly sticking out, and what looks to be bits of blood and viscera trailing behind her as she seems to try to crawl through the room, and you see as this massive black looking or colored or black skinned colored figure kind of sticks its head down, looks through its large green eye, kind of glimmering as it does, grabbing the old lady and pulling her back in, seemingly to stopping for a moment as it stares at James, and as its mouth opens, you see these teeth that seem to be almost pearly white with little bones sticking out, and what looks to be a beard kind of flossed between two of the front teeth, as the creature gives out a bellowing laugh and shuts the door with its large hand.
Slow raising middle finger.
Damn.
As the creature slams the door, it goes silent once again.
Okay, weird silence spell. I'm guessing it works only if the perimeter is secured.
It doesn't really matter right now. Well, he's still busy doing stuff.
Yeah, such as killing people. We should probably stop that.
So, window smashy or no? Window smash.
Yeah, let's go to the other
We
side
should
then.
probably smash two on two different sides. I'll smash this one. Go around to the other side.
Let's not split up. That's my idea. Don't split up. Bad.
Please split
Well,
up.
Let's go to the other side.
Smash one to a different room within view then.
Okay. All right,
He
go
already
behind the
expects
bush.
me to be here, so if I'm here, he's going to most likely come here, and then I can run over to meet you two.
No,
I'm just gonna
we're
assume it's
not
just walking to a random window.
You walk up to the back window, looking at it, as it looks, stable, kind of tapping it with your stick. You're pretty sure you could smash those.
So I think glass is a hardness of 1 and an HP of 1, so...
Now, I'm going to ask, before you decide to just, baseball bat this thing, are you going to check to see if it's an unlocked window?
But that's not fun. Fine.
No, break it anyway.
As you start to wind it up, a light bulb goes on, and Cinder kind of stops, leans forward, and starts to push on it. It opens.
I just really wanted to smash it.
You should do it from distance, because what if it's trapped?
I'm opening it with the stick.
As you kind of back up a little bit, about 5 feet, Rollman kind of falling behind one of the
I take
bushes,
James with me.
grabbing James and tugging him backwards.
James was already getting his hammer out, getting ready to swing as well. Looks at you. The fuck?
You're pulled back, your heels dragging in the dirt
Bodyguarding.
as Rollman tries to keep you
Hey,
safe.
I could lift that man up. I'll tell you what.
Cinder, as you go to like push lightly with your staff, you see as the window seems to open up, the two sides kind of smacking against the wall. One of them seemingly shattering a single pane that falls to the ground.
Why'd you push up so hard?
Broken window.
So once the window's open, I go to the others and I just go, so James, very important. No more fucking talking. They're probably going to listen to us the whole way through. So anyway.
You know?
Actually, I would like to do something I think I can do. Just double checking.
And suddenly he can't.
I need to see here. Nope, I don't have it yet. That's next level. Never mind.
Okay. As the three of you kind of stand as Cinder kind of rejoins you over by the cover, looking at the window as it now stands open.
I'll point at myself and I'll just motion forward.
I'll just nod.
Okay.
I'll nod as well. Following
switch-
behind.
Okay.
I can't wait to see James try to get in this window with climb checks.
Yep.
I really
yeah.
can't.
Yep.
Beforehand, I'm going to activate my ring of arming and switch to my battle gear.
Okay. As your ring kind of gives a light glimmer for a moment, and your gear, your clothes like pull off at the same time as the armor pulls onto you, covering you completely. As you head in, and I'd like to imagine canonically that the only thing it doesn't that you guys see, and when Roman does this, is like his like boxers, and they've got like little hearts or something like that, like teddy bears on it.
That. I was like, I'm not gonna say it though because I can make it look really uncool.
It just kind of fits.
The
Hey,
manliest underwear.
they may not look cool, but man, they're expensive, and that's what you care about. And they're comfortable.
Hey, look, I don't need to use baby powder.
Look, they're lightly enchanted.
Yeah, you don't have to go. You only got to wash them. They don't get ruined. It's fantastic for battle. But no, as you change, kind of rush, or beginning to walk over quietly. As you head over to the window, I will say the window is about 3 feet off the ground. So James and Cinder will have to make climb checks. I think. Roland, are you large?
I could just. Yeah, no, I'm
I do
medium.
not.
Oh, you're medium, so you have to make it. Okay.
Well,
I can just the wall. I do not have to
Oh,
make a climb
that's
check.
right, because you
I'm
have
not
your
making a
shoes.
climb check either, as I levitate and pull myself in and set myself down.
okay, that's not happening yet. Chill out. I'm going in first.
But no, yeah.
I know you're eager to not make a climb check, but chill the fuck
Yeah.
out.
He's gonna die. Don't worry, he's gonna die. That's what he knows.
The
But no.
spell is levitate.
Yeah, Roman, as you head over
In there.
to the window, walking up to it, kind of looking in. It's about 3 feet off the ground as you look in, seeing the rug kind of set in the center, the single glass shard off to the side where it cracked away. Go ahead and give me a climb check if you want to climb in.
I am like 6'5", so can I just like lift up my legs?
I don't have. You know what? I'm gonna look up something real quick. Hey, Roman, you used to run track in your youth. What are those things called that you have to jump over with your
hurdle.
legs? Thank
Hurdles.
you. Where are the?
Pretty sure they're probably shorter than 3 feet.
I'm checking to see.
Or taller, sorry. The hurdles are probably taller than 3 feet.
3.5 feet. Oh yeah, then yes, I would say so. Yeah, you'd be able to get yourself over it pretty comfortably. It's not going to be a fun jump, basically, but you can definitely do it. Yeah. All right. Yes, you
Hang
kind
happen
of
as
1
a-
foot over, kind of looking in at the room for a second. No ropes. No suddenly like a hammer dropping and a marble moving, and then suddenly a kid jumping out with a shotgun. Thankfully, it looks to be completely undisturbed as you kind of put your other foot in, kind of looking about, waiting for a second. Everything kind of quiet. Nothing happening.
I give a
There's no
thumbs up.
Kevin McAllister glue trap.
Nope. As Rollman turns back and gives a thumbs up.
Yeah.
He should be in the middle.
You're the bait. Well, no, I got seen already. As I'll levitate myself up and pull myself just over the lip and set myself down.
All right. As you do so, kind of finding. Wait, now are you casting levitate on yourself? Because you know you can't
I
use your
have a
shield.
wand of it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, using your wand as it glimmers with magic, or James begins to glow with a light golden, seemingly light kind of surrounding his body as he begins to levitate in the air and floats into the room behind Rollman. As
All
I
that
James,
just
will
to
step
avoid going
myself
over
down because there's
3 foot
very
barrier.
limited I can do.
yeah, would you say Rollman?
All that just to get over a 3 foot barrier. Just Roman shaking his head.
Yep.
You know what? You put on full plate,
Are you?
try to climb over something that is essentially just a 3/4 your height, then complain to me.
I mean, that's pretty easy.
Syndra blinks, and it's been all of 10 seconds, and they've already started talking again when they were told to be silent.
As Cinder just kind of sighing meanly, that I imagine. All right.
In Syndra's head as they walk in, most undisciplined little brats. Most undisciplined.
Just
She started it.
climbing in through or over the stone and into the room. As you look about, you see a couple of two beautiful scimitars with golden handles that are definitely masterwork pieces, but fully showpieces, as their blades are very dulled, and the blade themselves look to be not designed to be sharpened in any way. The metal a little bit more cruder and shinier than it is of a purity to work with. As James kind of looks it up and down, sees a suit of armor made of this purple metal that seems to glimmer, kind of looking at it as it's beautiful. The helmet on it seems to have a plumage of what looks to be, or not a plumage, but a piece on it of a dragon's skull, almost embedded in with the purple helm to give the eye sockets of the skull a glimmer of red. It seems to give you a haunting feeling as you look about.
I gave one against the wall of the door. That way, when I open it, no one's in line of fire of anything.
Okay. So you can
open the door, or something. No one stops me.
All right. James
I'm gonna go get out of the way of the door.
Yeah, Roman said that. Yep, that's why he's pushing you up against the side of the wall with him. Gotcha. Cinder, anything else that you'd like to do as James kind of finds himself trying to go to the other side of the room as Roman goes, no, and pulls him back next to him?
No, I'm just bringing up the rear because I've accepted. I'm no longer the bait since you keep talking. They are. I'm now just the rear guard.
You kind of just sigh with a little bit of an inner annoyance as you know they're waiting on the other side.
I'm gonna check something and I might cast something before he opens the door.
Yeah, feel free.
Okay. I don't open the door as Roman or James hold up a finger.
Yeah, feel free. I'm gonna roll 3 things while he does that.
I swear, someday Syndra wonders why she knows you people.
I mean, he's related to you. That's why
I know. Don't remind me. I'm very disappointed.
You see, but it's lower down. Like it comes after you. That way, you can feel less bad that you're not the child of this person.
I will be casting Shield of Faith from the Weave of Daggers to
Okay.
give me a 4 headed 4 to my AC to get me up to a nice 33.
Okay. As James kind of grabbing hold of the daggers across his chest as they begin to glimmer, the gemstones seeming to glow with a almost sickly green coloration as it seems to circle around James with a similar light as you watch as his body begins to glimmer, feeling the protection and his armor seemingly expanding out with a magical coating.
Okay. I guess as James does that, Roman also activate his scout headband using all 3 charges to give himself true sight for the next minute.
Fantastic. Good news, as you look about, the room is exactly how it was supposed to be. Except
Cool.
you do see one thing. There's a single book that you see on the corner near a table next to the bed that reads, Dear Diary.
Oh, I kind of look at it now. Oh, man.
Roland kind of takes a second looking at it and looks back at the door.
Second spell that James is going to cast an Entropic Shield.
Okay.
Okay, seeing as James is casting
range
myself, I'm going to go grab the book.
Range attacks now have 20% miss chance.
Okay, how long does that last, James?
I gotta look up the Weave of Daggers to see because it lasts 1 minute per level, which puts it at 15 minutes for both of those.
Okay, I'm just making sure to see if I need to track it or not. Alright, as Roland kind of steps away, seeing James kind of continuously casting, Cinder, who looks like they're fully ready to just get this done with, as Roland
actually, I canceled that. I'm not going to.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah, both of those are quick spells and standard actions.
It's not because of you. It's just I'm worried about traps. I don't want to.
The book is so trapped, dude. I was waiting for you to trap. I really was.
Yeah.
It's got like first
Well,
page reads, "Dear
Roman notes
Diary,
it, and
Fireball."
Dear diary, glyph of warding.
No.
Roland notes it
Go.
for the future.
Okay.
That after the battle, if they're alive, that we go back for it.
All right. As you step forward to the door, Roman, kind of grabbing the heavy handle on it, and look at James and Cinder for a moment.
All right. I open the door and get cover immediately.
As you open the door, you watch as about 6 arrows go flying into the room, smacking into the back stone wall, the size of large harpoons, as they penetrate the back stone almost about an inch deep each as the arrowheads vanish into it. As you look in and see a group of ogres, bows at the ready with arrows getting lodged in them again in almost a firing squad, as you see what looks to be 3 normal ogres. One that seems to be the smallest of the lot, still large, but seemingly to be thinner. 2 that seem to be heavier set and a little bit more muscular. 2 in the back that seem to be, you recognize as other normal ogre mages, seeing their staves with strange skulls on the end and recognizing them as casters, and one last one that looks to be a huge bastard that you see with the black skin and what looks to be a large, almost toenail-like thing on its forehead of what looks to be solid white, kind of sticking out like a horn. The creature seems to kind of look over you, smiling as it does, as you lot stand on the other side of the door. Everyone give me some initiative.
Cool. Do anything with
So-
choose side?
What's up? Oh, nothing that you notice immediately, but I'll get into the full description of the room here in a sec.
Cool.
What's up, Cinder?
And Cinder says, "Don't talk when we come in," but no, they talk, and then DM immediately rolls something, and what do you know? We get ambushed.
Oh, dude.
Hey, wait. No one got hurt.
I have a +10 to listen on like half of these dudes.
I
Like,
know you do.
I was gonna hear you no matter what. Yeah, no. Let's see. So, yeah,
He started it.
yeah, I did start it.
I'm gonna stop it for both of you.
So Rollman
Okay,
with 33, James
I
with
used
15.
one to make sure I didn't make more noise than necessary because I was staying shut up.
Oh, but
And
you already made
decided to
noise.
start shit rolling. And
You'd already made
I-
noise.
I hope you realize I literally only shook my head.
Your hide check also got you caught, so like, yeah, I wouldn't blame it on him. Good news is you all go before the entirety of the enemy force, because I couldn't roll for crap for initiative. And it turns out ogres do not have a strong dex. So
They do have a strong strength.
they do, but strength does not
don't worry,
account to
you will be
movement.
stronger.
True. But as we get into it, as you look in, seeing the room, as we were, here, let me close a couple of tabs that I don't need now. Perfect. You see off to the side what looks to be almost a cutoff of the room. It seems to that you're raised up off the actual ground, as you realize that you're about maybe 10 feet up above from the base floor, looking out as these ogres stand out on top of a platform. Looking out, you can kind of tell from here, Rollman, with your height, just barely what looks to be the sight of a bunch of adventurers in different types of armor, looking different races amongst them, most though being snowbeards, seemingly about 4 of them on the side that you can see, strapped to what looks to be large wooden stars made from what you'd guess to be like the legs of furniture and such. Most likely those tables you had seen kind of pushed up against the windows. You
Are they
can.
alive?
From what you can tell from here, it looks like they are still somewhat conscious, as they do seem to be moving a little bit. You all also can hear the sounds of something crying and shouting in Dwarvish, the sounds of a small child crying for its mother, as seemingly coming from inside the inside the manor itself. Looking out, though, you can see that there, even from here on the other side, there looks to be a walkway, and clearly recognizing you guys are on what looks to be a raised platform. The center of the room houses what looks to be a large circular object that looks to be a mix of death ore and cobalt, as James recognizes the coloration. That seems to be using a blue colorium to mark out the different continents of the world in almost like a globe-like design. As you see it glimmering, it seems to kind of move, and you see bits of red that kind of seem to be floating in, almost like the color of blood. Not, thankfully, like red death ore, to make very clear.
Okay.
As you look on. The ogres themselves stand about 30 feet from where you kind of stand off to the side, roll them in the room.
Okay. Alrighty. Do I have a straight line to them?
Of the front ranks, yes. The back ranks are behind the wall of flesh. That is the smaller ogre and the 2 muscular ogres.
Mm-hmm.
The
And I assume I am up first?
Yep. With a 33? Yeah, no. You're up first by a long shot. Next highest was Syndra at a 16, like Jesus.
Oh, yes. Can I go twice then for double ownership?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
There should be a rule, though, for that if you one of these days you ever manage to get a crit, because goddamn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm pretty prepped and ready to go. Alright. As an action, I think I'm going to go ahead and charge forward.
Come at me, good sir.
Yes, that's the plan. Is there any way I can get like in the thick of them, like in the middle of them all?
Yeah, if you can move. I think you can move the full 30 feet without issue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you wanted to stand up in front of in the middle of the 3-man front line, you're pretty sure you'd be in the middle of the 3 physical-looking ones. The mages being in the back, I mean, there's not much room to get between the 2 lines. It looks like so. Best bet is just to get in front of the middle.
Okay.
It will put you within. I'm just double checking. 20 or 10 feet if you are. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you'll be within 10 feet of the back line if you go into the center.
Well, I don't have 10-foot reach, sadly.
Oh.
I am not a large creature. Yeah.
And you can hope they encircle you.
Yeah, maybe they will.
Oh, you're going to be.
I'm gonna try that one. Okay, I will go ahead and use my boots to the back. First, before I do that, I'm going to use my oil, spread that all over me, get myself some carriage injection because I'm going to need it.
She Roman cap bites the cork out, pops it, spits it out, kind of pours the oil vial over his head as he glimmers and glistens. If he wasn't an adventurer, you're pretty sure he'd be a stripper. Like, as you look at this, James and Syndra, like...
We all know.
Rollman glistens, and he just, in the light, it's a beauty. Like, he is just gorgeous. As you
Roll a charm check. Come on, charm them. Make them our...
Unfortunately, they have the ogres don't have an interest. And that's like the bard getting fucked by a dragon. You don't want to be the bard on that situation.
Yeah, alright. And since I'm not moving, I'm going to use my boots as a stand action charge forward.
Alright, let's see what you got.
That middle guy, that guy's not going to have a fun time. Hopefully.
Nope, especially because he's the smallest of the bunch and the weakest, the leanest looking, so as he holds his bow in front of him.
Alright, since I have
How far away would that put
30
him?
30 feet.
30 feet away.
Yep.
Perfect.
Alright, what are you thinking?
I'm going to swing at him as a full attack because I have Pounce ability.
Alright.
First swing. 36 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, good. I'd be really sad if it didn't.
Yeah, nope. That also hits.
21. Okay. 16.
Rollman's about to make chop liver of this poor man. Oh no.
22 to hit.
That hits? Woo! Yep.
Nice. Alright.
As you just slice into this poor guy.
Yep, he's getting sliced into, as they say.
I finally figured out where that's from. That song you keep like doing. Have you been watching Snow White?
What?
Yeah, it's the opening to one of the Snow White songs.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's like it's the bird singing. Like okay.
Yeah.
Like, for those who are old-fashioned Disney fans, you'll know what I'm talking about. 34 also hits, shockingly.
Oh, I haven't.
Oh, is that damage? Oh, okay.
No, I'm just typing out dice right now.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Discord lagged for me and gave me another alert for it. I'm like, wait.
Ah, really? That's weird.
Cool. This is about to be bad.
Yes, it is.
Wait, you're not supposed to agree with me.
92 points of damage.
Well, you in about 2 hits, manage to not only dice this man, but as you continue cutting into him, James and Syndra, you get the sense that Roland's working up some aggression here as he slices and dices. Arms go flying, the head goes chopping off. There is nothing left of this man as Roland leaves him into a mush as he just shreds him.
I was expecting them to be a bit more durable than that.
Looks to the next one. Are you ready?
He was a normal ogre who were like CR4, I think.
I think I could actually fight a normal ogre right
Look,
now.
man.
Let one of them come over here.
Right?
Overkill's better than underkill. That is my turn as I take the pose of ready to retaliate if I'm struck.
Alright, getting your blades ready as you kind of put a leg forward, one leg back to slightly be able to spring about, ready to strike as they come at you. Alright. As Roman single-handedly slaughters through them, Syndra and James suddenly have a sigh of realization. Maybe this won't be as bad as they thought.
I don't believe that for a second. No offense.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I think now, DM, if that crown child's not some demon on the ceiling of a room waiting to kill us when we walk by,
I assume that's just like the like the center point of the ritual, and it's gonna get turned into the god thing.
That'd be really bad if Sir Roman suddenly had to fight God, like a summoning god.
No, I don't want to do that.
I'll
Roman.
dispel magic it.
Roman, the hero that never
Sure.
was. Syndra, you are up.
so how close together are all these ogres?
They are all within about, so from the center out, it'd be within 10 feet of roughly each other, 10 to 15 feet of each other. If you center your spell on Rollman, they are all within 10 feet of Rollman.
Roland, how fire resistant are you?
As Syndra shouts this out over the blinding fury.
If you could equate it to a number of points of damage, about 10.
All
Or
right,
5,
well,
actually. Five.
Oh, what?
Rollman
Alright.
turns back and at the moment panics, goes, no, five, please.
I'm gonna
Half
hit.
that. Half that.
I'm gonna hit the back half and not burn Roland to a crisp with a flame strike.
Alright. So you're going after the mages in the back. Alright, what's the save?
I believe it's reflex.
Alright, let me just check. Do I have spell resistance? One of them does, so I will need... Oh, actually, all three of them do.
Well, that makes sense.
So I will need 3 spell resistances.
Yep. Let's see, I have a +9. That will be a 20 for 1.
So that fails.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, they have high spell resistance. Okay. That'll be a nat 20 for the second.
Which is with a total.
29.
Okay, so that does succeed.
And that'll be a 28.
That one fails.
Oh my. Well, boys, spells not be very effective.
Magic is entirely fucking useless against the back line. Roll them in.
Don't worry. Every other spells does not allow spell resistance. Don't worry about it.
Cool.
This is Cinder's poking spell to see what works, what doesn't. You know, as a caster, you don't want to blow your load in case they have a huge resistance.
That's a sentence right there.
It's it was meant to.
Although I'm about to scare the shit out of that one that
yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hit him, and it's like, oh shit. Wait a minute.
So that's 35. Half of the damage is not subject to fire resistance.
Okay. Well, as that's not negative energy, they will still take half.
Do I have to make a save though?
They will. Well, is it a save? Sorry.
Reflex.
Yeah,
It's reflex. Okay, cool. Want to make sure. So the 2. Oh no, just the 1.
Yeah, just the one, because the other one's just...
God
Take
damn.
one of them.
Alright. Oh man, they're really reflexive. That's a 16.
So shockingly, he fails the DC 24 save.
Yeah. No, I'm not shocked on that at all. I have a dex of 10, gentlemen. This is not going to go well for either of us.
As he takes his 35 damage.
Ooh, okay. As you hit the huge ogre with it.
It's the biggest one.
Yes.
That guy.
Yeah,
All
that guy
right.
laughed. That guy smiled creepily.
As the
guy.
flame hits him, burning slightly, he seems to kind of laugh as his body seems to glimmer a bit more. The other two ogres seemingly unbothered as they stand looking down at Rollman's staves in hand as they begin to conjure something quietly with their hands. I will note, Syndra and James still having not entered the main room, to be very clear.
Yeah, I'm not going in there.
That's not safe.
Alright, as you toss, though, your flame out, Syndra, the flame kind of catching the creature on the chest as it does. Is there anything else you'd like to do as you have not moved?
Yes. I'm gonna cast through an item. Yeah, it does. The 3 ogres in the back are blinded as sleet fills their area and their faces.
Wait, what spell is this?
This is Sleet Storm. There is no save, there is no spell resistance. They are just in a thick, like, snow falling from the sky.
And what's the range? Oh, it's an area effect. Okay, so it's
Area.
a 40. Ah!
Far. It's a big cylinder.
Okay. Well, good news, Roman. So are you.
No, he's not. Because if I
it's
get far enough back.
Oh, you're gonna go put
Okay.
behind them. Oh, okay. I got you.
I want to force them to move if they want to fuck with Rollman with magic, because they're
Okay.
gonna be blind.
Meaning
Alright.
they have to step forward, essentially.
No, I got you. Alright, perfect. As the sleet storm goes off. Alright. Let me make a note of that as ice kind of pins from your hand, expanding out as snow kind of inflicts or goes flying past Rollman and begins to create a small little blizzard kind of in the room as the kid continues to cry and scream further inside, and the shouts of help in different languages starts to pop up from down below.
Yep. Totally a kid. Yep. So anyway, then I end my turn after activating a class feature to up my AC.
What's your what class feature?
This is Cloak of Winter's Chill, I believe it's called.
Okay.
What'd it do?
Ups my AC, like I just said. Ups my
Oh.
AC.
Sorry, it's very loud in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of screaming.
All
I'm not
right.
referring to a snowstorm, but I guess so.
There, yes, and the fact that you can hear the screaming through the science spell should scare you, Syndra and James.
Oh, it does. Horribly. Why do you think I'm not stepping in there?
Alright, as Syndra ends her turn, as the cold ice begins to envelop around her as a sort of like a pseudo armor that seems to envelop her body. James, you are up.
So, Rollman, I'm not moving. Enjoy your enlargement.
A big.
Alright, as Rollman grows the size category once more.
And take a swing, snake swiftness, as I throw out a snake scale.
Okay.
Alright, now is it a full action if I remember right?
No.
No, it is a single
It's
attack.
just single attack? Okay.
I'd be broken if it was a full attack.
That's what I was making sure. I was gonna say, like, damn.
New
Alright.
party. 3 casters with Snake Swiftness and a fighter.
Right.
Alright, okay, I guess I'll take a swing. There's just 2 I can see right now, right?
Correct.
I'll take a... Oh, I have a 10-foot reach. Oh, I can't see them though because of the storm. Yeah, I'll just swing on the right one.
Okay.
On my right side.
Alright, let's see what you got.
Da-da-da-da. Okay. Guess I have to do math.
Math?
Yeah, math.
What the fuck?
34 to hit.
Fuck. Yeah? Bro, I don't think you can miss unless you roll on that one on anything in this room.
Stop saying if you roll that one, because that's just what happens when you keep saying that.
Oh, no, never
Stop
mind. Sorry.
Getting fate.
You have to roll on that one to legitimately.
Don't say that.
Alright, yeah, go ahead, though.
Support casting, go!
46 damage. Damage. Give me a second. I'm just calculating something because they have DR.
It is a magic weapon.
Yep, that's why I was noting this. Alright. As they will take... And that's from one attack, correct?
That is 1 attack.
Alright, so they will take half of that almost. As the large... what you realize is now recognizing the fighting style of a barbarian-like individual. This ogre seems to flex his pecs and take the blade almost in between them as he catches it and then lets it go. Not without taking damage, but, he seems unfazed by it.
That's It's a gargantuan full blade. That's horrifying.
As you see a
Big
slight
sword.
little dip cut in his chest there, yeah. Sorry, I'm going.
Big sword.
Mm-hmm. Alright, that's your first strike, Roman, goddamn.
I mean, that was the snake.
Oh, that's the snake swiftness. No, that's fair. Yep,
And that's
never mind.
the end of
That's
my
the end of
turn.
James's turn. Alright. My apologies as we get on. Yes, exactly, Syndra. The muscle or the peck bouncing individual. The ogre kind of just makes his pecs bounce as he kind of smiles. A small like piece of rubble kind of dropping down, bouncing between the two before flying off. All right. Well, the two barbarians are up, and well, Roloman. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. They kind of have to club you. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
we're just gonna take some hits, and since they're not moving, I'm gonna do all of them at the same time, as it'll make it easier. We'll calculate damage though one at a time, as they all have the same modifier. 34, 30, 21, and 32.
The 21 misses.
Okay.
The other one hit.
All three of them hit. All right, we'll do them one at a time then to see if you manage to kill one of these poor fools when you counterattack. Because all right. So for the first one. 13, 22 points of damage as you feel the club slug you across the face as you spin with it and come back with your blades and your cloak.
Hit damage real quick.
Yep. Oh, don't even roll the
do I
cloak
need
because
to
you
roll
can't
cloak?
beat. Yeah, cloak can't beat my DR.
Okay, 19. Yeah, okay.
The day has finally come that James feared. The cloak it needs to be upgraded.
It's needed to be upgraded for a while, if I'm being honest.
It's true. Needs to be able to do half of Rollman's damage so that way he can kill more things.
19 hit? Oh,
19? Just barely meets.
hey, nice.
Yep.
And 24 to hit.
24 also hits.
Roll them together then.
Let's see, yep. This is going to be a nice back and forth.
I hope it's not going to be.
Oh, I
I'm
still...
gonna die.
No, I'm about to club you to pieces. I hope you have a lot of health today.
Yep.
You've been eating your vitamins. Yeah, exactly. See, you should be at least 90 plus. Alright. Woo! Alright, well that's still like near almost 50 points. Holy crap! Alright. Whoo, I'm still up!
Nice.
I'm still up!
7.
Not by a lot though. Oh, wait, that wasn't the end of that? Wait, hold up, what?
No, I healed 7.
Oh, okay. Whew. I was like, wait a minute. As you swing back, cutting into the individual, watching as the blood starts to kind of droop down as he starts kind of coughing a little bit. He looks tired as he's starting to get winded with it, but he's still going to swing his second time as it still hits. So let's go ahead and roll the damage for it. As another 25 points of magical bludgeoning. Yep, I'm rolling well tonight. Also, ogres just do a lot of hitting. So
Yeah.
you're a con heavy fighter, right?
I have a 16 in con.
Oh, so you're fine.
Yeah.
As you feel the club swing against you, and you swing going back, that hits.
I'll just roll that and see if he dies. I don't know. Roll the other one.
All right.
Well, he might live though.
He might live. Maybe you'll roll on all ones.
I don't want to roll once.
I know, but I want you to roll all ones. My hope is that you and Cinder both roll that one, so you have to rely on James all night. There we go. 25 points. Just meets the creature's HP as you manage to cut down the barbarian as his arm comes swinging at you for another chance. As the arm goes flying and the body then drops to the side next to Rollman, collapsing and smacking against the ground. Alright. Well, the other one still got one more swing. So let me just nat one on my spell real quick. Yeah, I got you. Thank you. For the last attack, that's another 26 points of damage.
I'm both so high.
As the club comes swinging across from the undamaged barbarian ogre as he smacks into you hard with it.
All right.
Let's see what you can do. James gonna be stealing these poor creatures' clubs after this. Oh, fuck, that hits!
I'm sad that's not the full blade, because that would have been threatened a crit.
Right? Oh, wait, what? Oh, damn.
Would have, but it
That's
was
fair.
cost did that. And 22 to hit?
22 hits as well.
Okay.
Shockingly, my AC is not high enough, as the rings on these guys do only glimmer so much, and their hide armor is only masterwork.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You see, you made a mistake. You only came here with masterwork. I could have done better.
James says from the other room, cowering behind his bodyguard who's beating the living crap out of these creatures.
I'm behind my shield, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. As Rollman slams into the ogre, the barbarian that just attacked him, smashing his blade into the guy's gut as he tries to disembowel, but the skin is too thick and the blade not cutting thick enough. The creature, or the barbarian, though, seemingly coughing up blood as it smiles at him. All right. Well, that ends their turns. The huge mage is up. And you're really gonna hate me for this. I do not need a line of sight to cast my spells with this huge bastard. However, screw you, because my normal mages can't do shit.
I know. For you.
So instead, I am going to look down at Rollman. And Rollman, I need a reflex save. As he begins to move his hands about vigorously.
Vigorously.
Yes. Wax on, wax off, wax on. Wait, what?
35.
35. You succeed by a long shot, so you will only take half. I'm just double checking.
What level is this spell?
This is 3rd.
Cool. I'll also heal 3 HP.
Fantastic. I'm just double checking.
And also take damage because of evasion.
Ooh, alright.
Backflip over the spell.
Oh my. Okay, so I get 9. Oh, I'm sorry, Grumpy. This is about to hurt. Actually, technically, I need a reflex save also from. Well, James and Syndra, would you say you are arguably behind Rollman? Because I think I would here.
High what?
By 30 feet.
Yeah. 30 feet. You know, you're right. And this, the nice thing is this is a 30-foot vertical line.
It's 35 feet away.
Oh, that's right.
I'm
That's
12
right.
feet away from
Never mind. I can't hit James. Oh, you are saved by technicality. I'm sorry, Rollman. You're gonna take all of this by yourself.
No, he's not. Evasion.
Oh, we're gonna see how
Let
much.
him roll it anyway.
So that is 92 points of electricity damage that comes shooting down onto you.
I dodge all of it.
What?
Evasion.
Evasion.
Fair enough. As the bolt of lightning starts to go about the room, slamming down as it does, the lightning continues as the storm gets worse. Since I did that once, I'm gonna do that again. Screw you. God damn it. Give me another reflex save. Come here.
Okay. 37.
Shit.
He dodges better.
He was ready this time.
God damn.
After having to deal with Ogre's lightning, this is pittance.
Oh, fuck me. Alright, let me see. Is there anything
Thanks
else
for
I
the
can do?
6
Yeah. Any free or quick actions I can get? Okay, I'll do that then. Cool. As he glimmers and glows, and you watch as you feel as his magic slightly returns back to him.
He's getting spell slots back.
And ends his turn. That guy's dead under Rollman's feet right now. And the mages are up and blinded. They are going to go ahead and take a 5 foot step forward to the right. And left as they step to behind the 2 barbarians and out of the storm.
There's one left, right?
The huge one is still in the storm. He's just standing in it.
One barbarian left is what.
Oh yes, 1 barbarian left. Correct. Technically, yes. As the other steps out in shock, and they are both going to be in casting. Unfortunately,
Are they within 10 feet of me?
they are.
As they're casting, I will take an attack of opportunity on both of them.
Just double checking. I don't have the feat I need for the defensive thing. No, alright, go ahead.
You can still cast defensively. You just have to make a concentration check.
No, I know that. I see that. But there's something I was gonna do for it, but so it don't matter.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So this is 2 attacks each.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 30 to hit.
30 hits. 17 does not, and that's a nat 1. Roll again.
That's another nat 1.
That's another nat 1. Roll again.
Oh shit.
My god, Rollman
mean?
got the Dom experience. It gets the Dom experience. I get to pull up my body part chart. Rollman's gonna get to roll to see which part he loses today, as your sword is about to turn on you.
Oh, God. Damn it.
Right. Rollman, I need a D4 to start with.
Cool.
Oh my god, I didn't think this would be the deadly part of the encounter, too. So it's an arm. That's the good news. Give me a D8.
Okay. A 1.
Alright. And then one last one. I need a D2. For right versus left.
A 1.
Alright, your left arm at the shoulder comes completely off, Rolliman, as you go to swing your blade at the second individual. Think kind of in a beautiful spin as the creature seems to pull up its staff, catching your blade at the wrong angle. And as it does, the Kamos kind of twisting in the wrong direction seems to twist in your hand, cutting and going after your arm, cutting it clean off as you begin to watch as blood spurts out of it. Technically, because this is a body part, you will be counted as bleeding, but you do not take actual damage.
My armor does prevent me from bleeding, by the way.
Oh, cool! As
just
you
instantly
watch
heals.
as Rollman screams slightly in pain, as his arm completely or his shoulder cauterizes immediately.
How am I gonna make you a new arm? God damn it.
I just look at the fucking arm, just like, what the fuck?
But
I'm
go
just
ahead,
annoyed.
roll your damage for the one strike, Rollman, as you see your arm on the ground with the Kamos like slightly sticking out of it.
Yeah. Okay. There
Just cut
was
your
2
damage in
strikes before
half.
that one. So the first, that one, the guy on the right got really lucky of that because the left guy's about to fucking die.
Yeah, he is.
Hopefully.
Gargantuan full blade on a mage. My God.
We're about to see. I mean, these mages have a decent health pool. I won't lie. They are still ogres, remember that. And plus, he's been rolling 1s all night. I'm not as worried, I'll be honest.
Yeah, dude, that was insane. What the fuck?
Hey,
Look
it's
at
not
that line of 1.
Hey, now the Bearhound's gonna appear and run off with it to eat it.
If I'm gonna save that arm, I will reattach it, Grumpy. It'll be fine. Rolling.
Yeah,
It'll be
let's see.
fine.
I hope I'm being fine. That's what I intend to happen.
Yeah, he's hoping that suddenly he won't lose his head because of his own damage. Like, this is a little bit of a damning thing as a warrior to cut your own arm off. Oh my god!
I don't know if there was that first guy.
As Rollman clean cuts the first guy in half, the other mage is so terrified by Rollman's response, seems to immediately catch him in a fear response. Rollman looking down at his arm, I imagine both enraged and feeling the pain of losing it.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
That's
Well,
that guy could cast a spell.
yeah, now I can cast. Jesus. Well,
Does he still want to?
I know, right? Like, shit. Give me a minute. Let me find the spell I was
We
gonna
accept
cast.
surrender and turncoats.
Like, fuck, man. I wasn't even gonna do
We
something
accept
that
surrender
bad.
and turncoats.
I'm just trying to find my note for this spell. I apologize. Because I thought it was a druid spell. I did not. Here, there it is. It's actually the spell that Syndra casts a lot. Oh, there it is. Alright. And what caster level do these things count as? Oh, 9th. Okay, cool. Perfect. So, Rollman, I need a reflex save.
Okay.
As you try to jump out of the way with one armed and all. Really taken aback by the loss of an arm in this combat. Damn.
Yep. Can't
I
really
mean,
think
I
about it right
guess
now
I can
though.
integrate your weapon into your new arm.
Well, the good
No,
news
I
is
do
you
not want
won't
a weapon
take
arm.
you won't take any of this ice damage because you have
Nice.
evasion.
What level is that spell?
That is a 6th level spell.
That's a 6th level spell.
That is correct. Cone of Cold.
Okay. Plus 6 health.
Yep. As you heal yourself, managing to succeed, the creature and angry as it watches its Cone of Cold go off without anything happening. Still has a second action, however, and it watched you cut your own arm off.
Yep, totally on purpose. I totally did that on purpose.
Yeah, no, that's what it's thinking.
Fear factor.
Just double checking. In fact, you have to roll another nat 1 to fail my save, like to get that cone off on you.
Dude, if I roll another 1 on a d20 today, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Let's see. I just double check something. Okay, perfect. I can. All right, where is it? There it is. You have to be willing. No.
I'm not willing.
Fantastic. I need a fortitude save.
Okay.
As the creature leans out and is going to touch you with its staff. You will, and actually first let me roll a concentration check because this time it will
Yeah. I guess
roll
I'll
defensively.
If you fail this.
It's a
That
22, and I think for casting defensively, what's DC calc? Let me find it.
I think it's.
It doesn't have a cap. It is level.
calc.
Oh.
Yeah,
What is the
level.
calculation? It's okay. It's DC 15 plus the spell level you're casting. Okay, so 5. No, that is a success. Cool, perfect.
Okay, yeah, you can just do it then. Get an attack opportunity.
Fantastic. So I need a will or a fortitude save, and assuming you failed that, a will save after that.
Okay. 27 for the fortitude.
Fuck.
What level is that spell?
5th. As you feel your the staff uses its 1 charge of spell storing, as you feel for a moment your body begin to slightly shift, you see a small lizard hand begin to form where your hand was for a second, and then you reshape back as you realize this creature just tried to cast Baleful Polymorph on you.
That would have bad.
Yeah, it would. As they would have rushed James and Syndra.
You could have regrown your arm as a lizard, possibly. It could have been great.
That's not the takeaway in that situation. As it ends
Also-
its turn.
It also takes a while. Like, it's not very quick.
No, it is not. As we're back up to the top of the initiative, finally, with Rollman at the head of it.
One arm, still have a sword in my hand. Could still attack with it.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
What's the plan?
So I can only see. It's just only this one mage, right? And everything.
It
everything else
is
in
the
the,
one mage and one barbarian on either side of you. Yep. And then, of course, the crying child who his screams getting more shrill as the room beyond begins to glow a bright red.
Oh, stuff is happening.
It is. You can give me a search check for free, if you'd like.
Sure. I look for my fallen arm.
It's beneath you, right where you left it.
Oh, thank goodness.
You can
21.
do a search check for
21.
Hopefully it's child.
However, as you look down at your arm, you do notice the blood that was in your arm is starting to leak onto the ground and beginning to somehow make its way on even ground, fully set ground towards the center of the room, seemingly falling off the side of the raised platform that you guys are on. As you look about, by the way, I have a map. I forgot to post it here in the background.
Oh, nice.
I'll give you this as you get a
Maybe
rough
I would have saved
depiction.
my arm, Royce.
Cut up as you guys are in the top, right on that little walkway. And don't worry, the blood stains and all are included.
Oh, cool.
But yes, as you find yourself looking about, you do notice your blood is being pulled, as well as the blood from the dead ogres is being pulled and pulled towards the center of the room, seemingly.
Okay.
Sandra,
I will.
Can you freeze that blood?
Hey, Gosh, not your turn.
I
Go
will
ahead,
shout back. Storm's not helping. Guy can still cast through it, and I'm gonna go ahead and swing at this. She's swinging the barbarian.
Okay, let's see what you got.
Fucking shit up.
Man's preparing to kill him.
Yep. I'm preparing to kill him. is the intention.
Assuming you don't lose another arm.
That's it. What's that?
You gonna headbutt the enemy if you do?
Probably.
Ugh.
He'll be like Austin when he breaks both his arms.
All right. Oh.
That can't happen again.
You didn't see him very confident that first time.
Nope. Alright, so that's just one.
So that one fails, but the first one succeeds.
Okay. This is.
His Rollman's really thrown off by his new kind of weight
I'm
maneuvers.
I'm used to having an arm to,
He's
counterbalance with, but it's not there anymore.
As you watch, he's fighting like a spinning top more than anything at this point, as he's just like turning with the momentum of his heavy blade.
The only thought he has is I should have practiced with the arm behind my back in case I lost an arm.
Leave it to Rollman. Oh man. Alright, let's see what you got. Holy shit! Yeah, well, that ogre barbarian is down as his head goes flying clean off as you chop the second attack kind of falling into the body as the body starts leaning forward, causing you to kind of like lightly lean forward with it, almost losing balance. Alright, but as the body falls, leaving only you, the one mage that you can see, and the hidden mage that is a lot scarier.
I take a 5-foot step next to the other mage.
And a 5-foot step specifically away from the big fucker. Yeah, I got you. Alright, as you
I'll put, if it's possible, a 5-foot step to be in front of the small mage that's in line with where the big one was, so if he does that line spell again, his buddy's not going to feel too good.
Alright, got you, perfect, yep. As you kind of step in between the two of them, getting ready to take the attack as a brunt. Alright. Syndra, you just watched Rollman's arm go clean off, and now it is getting, the fight is like going to almost a bloody beating as Rollman's just angrily attacking and slicing. What would you like to do?
So I'm gonna drop that the blind spell because the guys I was actually blinding have both one's dead, but they both stepped out of it.
As you end it, you see as the individual, the huge ogre mage standing there, his black skin covered now in snow as it glimmers, and he seems to look over at Rollman, his hands kind of still moving about as he glimmers. You can see now the full red light coming from the center of the room, kind of glowing and vibrant, almost vibrant, as the pools of blood are clearly starting to kind of drain towards that direction. The sounds of the adventurers down below seemingly having quieted or almost dissipated completely.
And then I use Ray of Frost because I can't do anything to these mages to freeze his arm because I have a plan for later.
Okay. Is Ray of Frost, it's still a ranged touch attack, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll to see if you hit it.
I don't think I can fail if I don't have one, but let's see.
That's what I'm helping. Listen, that's what I'm looking for.
27.
Alright, that's a success. Yeah, never mind. You don't have to roll damage, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, as you go to, like, lightly freeze it, kind of shooting the ray of frost from your hands, or freezing ray, sorry, from your hands, as it hits the arm, kind of immediately turning it to an ice cube as the blood stops draining from it, as you look on, and preparing yourself for whatever's to come next.
I think my turn. Can't fucking do anything to what's left.
Alright, James, my man, you're up!
Yeah, the big guy's not gonna like me.
I mean, he already doesn't. Your bodyguards kind of killed all of his friends, and, did it with one arm behind his back.
He's concentrating, technically, on the spell. Correct?
You hope. Well, give me a spellcraft.
Are you hoping he's focusing on the ritual?
Yeah.
You can give me a spellcraft check, but I will note, from what you've seen so far, he was casting without issue earlier, because he did not need to roll
concentration. You can concentrate on
concentration.
a spell so long as the other spells are not concentration.
That's true.
God damn.
Nice.
From what you can tell, though, he is not the spell component. He is not the spellcaster handling that ritual.
Well, and this will just prevent him from doing any other spells that he has to prep for. As James holds up his shield, and a small dart comes out of it, made of acid. I'm going to be making a ranged touch attack.
Come at me! I dare thee!
Spell resistance does not affect this, and there's no saving throw.
Come at me!
You're doing a touch attack, so yeah.
Oh. Guess what? You fucking missed. Fuck you. No, like, As James goes to shoot this out and acid, a glimmer of an idea as he's got something in his mind, seeing Syndra kind of getting the arm ready, realizing his plan is coming to a fruition, and thinking the best way to stop this guy from attacking Rollman with some unique spells. James quickly thinks of shooting out a shot of a hammer-shaped acid splash of sorts towards the creature, slamming it into the wall or into the barrier behind him as the wooden barrier breaks down and falls. Down below, you hear as one of the adventurers go, "Ah, I'm not dead, nor am I acid resistant."
Damn it. No, I need to practice with that as I throw out another snake skill. Roll and go.
God damn it. James just kind of like tosses one.
My little one.
Oh no. Rollman, as you say this, feeling the snake scale smack you in the back as you quickly move. Let's see what you got. Yeah, that hits. That hits. Oh no. Hey, oh man, that was almost on that one. Oh my
that was
god.
a 2.
Oh. Damn. Hey, you want that one your damage for me?
I mean, one of them's a 1.
I was just saying, hey, it worked for me.
40 points of damage.
He is still up and kicking as you cut into the
what a guy.
mage, slicing and dicing as bits and pieces of him go flying. He stands strong, breathing heavy and bleeding as James continues just throwing little like snake scales at Rollman's back. All right, and James, is that
turn?
That's your turn? All right. Well, the barbarians are
cool.
You did. Hey, listen, man. I respect it. And that would have been fucking horrible if you'd hit. So that's why I was so happy you missed. All right. I'm no longer blinded. The barbarians are dead. So it's my turn of the huge guy who's up. Hey, Rollman, give me another fortitude save.
Okay.
As this
What's he
is.
doing?
Same thing as the other guy. My only spell for this. Yeah. Time to baleful polymorph you.
16.
You
That's
do
not good.
fail. Give me a will save, please.
Alright, I will use an immediate action to use Perfect Mind to make this a concentration check.
All right.
This rolls breaking. This 20. 43.
So two things in good news. One, you don't lose your memories after 24 hours of being in this form, or your ability to understand language, and you also don't lose that immediately. So
What am
you are going. Actually, we're gonna roll for it. You know, what? Let's go ahead because technically they wouldn't. No, you turn into a small Chihuahua-like dog with pointed ears and the blonde. Or no, you're a brunette. Yeah, because you have brown hair. And what looks to be a thin brown fur. The sword clattering to the ground next to you.
Well, I think my possessions go into me, don't they? The polymorph?
With baleful polymorph, yes.
I think any polymorph does. If you cannot wield it.
Takes I'm just double checking. All items worn or carried by the subject fall to the ground at his feet, even if they could be worn or carried by the new form.
Right.
So yeah, your armor, your ring, all of your items. You guys all realize Rollman's can kind of hoarding things for a bit, but you now have the same stats as a dog. However, you still can understand your language and still have your memories.
What happens if I get kicked and go to 0?
If the new form would prove fatal to the creature, if the subject remains, I don't think you turn back. No, it's permanent. Oh! Yeah, no, Rollman is, unless you have there are spells to reverse this, of course, but this is technically a permanent form. Even if you are kicked down to 0 HP, you still stay as a dog. So Rollman, you are Chihuahua.
I retain my hit points though, so I still have a shit ton.
Yes, yeah. You so the target retain your own alignment, your hit points, and then otherwise, just double checking. I think that's it. Yeah, and then also retains the ability to understand their language of your original form. Oh, you can write.
Sick.
Yeah, and...
But as you turn into this tiny dog in front of everyone, this Chihuahua-like creature, as the as the huge ogre kind of smiles, laughing as it does, ending its turn. Actually, no, I've got two. Never mind, I've got another action. Hold up. And I have a 4th level spell. Actually, I've got bad news, Rollman. My
What?
spell has. Oh no, because you already saved. Never mind. You don't have to worry about that. Because I forgot evasiveness. Oh shit. Oh damn it. It ruins my other plan. Alright, screw this. I'm casting this in your room. As the huge ogre mage is going to begin to move his hand and begin to cast Call Lightning on Syndra, because from his perspective, Syndra has cast the scarier magic, so we're going with that. Syndra, I'm going after you. Please give me a reflex save, unless you have spell resistance.
I do not.
Okay. Rollman lost an. Oh, I also will mention, Rollman, you are a 3-legged dog. Just for your own note.
You are a larger than you are a
No.
size larger still, because that effect would still be active.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so you are. Sorry, so you are. That means I think for dog.
Medium.
Yeah, you're a medium-sized Chihuahua, which is frightening in my opinion. Man's the size of a pit bull walking around with 1 arm or 3 arms. All right,
That'll be a 20.
24. Okay. Does that save my? Yes, it does. Just barely save. Damn you. All right. Do you have evasiveness?
No.
All right. So you will take the full brunt of this.
Bro, half of it. Oh wait, unless did they fail?
Oh, I actually did screw that up last time. My apologies on that. It is 9d6, not 3d6 per, because it's 90 or it's a d6 per lightning bolt. So,
Wait, this is all lightning?
yes, this is.
Yeah, you don't just strike all of them at once, by the way. It's 1 per turn.
This is this is the bolts per caster level.
Guess the number
Yeah.
you can do it.
Yeah, so you can call
Number of times
down. You may call down a total number of bolts equal to your number of caster level, 10 bolts, or up to 10 bolts.
And right before that, each round after the first, you use that action to call a bolt.
Ah, yes. I understand that this guy's staff has something specific for this spell. So that is something I said. No, that's fair.
I'm gonna say that you can't roll high enough to beat my lightning resistance.
Oh, even with the 34?
With it being 9 separate bolts, no.
Oh, Alright, as you feel the bolts kind of bouncing off of you one after another as the cloud kind of envelops around above, you watch as the staff kind of glimmers about, his hands kind of glowing as he ends his turn. I can only do that one more time. Alright. As that goes through, the Ogre Mage on 20 health is going to go ahead and take his great staff out, as that's the best way I'd call it, even though it's just a large quarterstaff. And he's going to plunk the dog in the head.
Damn.
Okay. Yep, you're about to get bashed. We're going to do this twice because you know what? This is just a payback. 12 and 20 to hit.
The 12 misses.
You quickly dodge out of the way and gets dodge right into the second hit as he goes to smack. Let's see. I love that the Chihuahua is still dodging left and right.
Yeah.
That is 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cool. Do I still have access to my feats, by the way?
It doesn't say that you don't. So I assume. Here, let me double check again. Because I just closed that window for a second. I think it is, but let's see. It doesn't say that you don't. New form base attack bonus, base save bonus, and all other statistics derived from hit die.
Oh, you lose your class features, so I assume you're gonna lose your feats as well.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. Perfect. As the creature, as the ogre mage though smacks you in the head once, smacking you aside as he does, ending his turn. Back up to the top of the initiative, Roman. You still are in your Chihuahua form. What would you like to do?
I'm a fucking dog with a 2 in intelligence.
Yep.
This guy just clunked me in the head, and I probably can't really do anything about that.
And you have one arm missing.
I have 1 leg missing.
Yep.
Is my movement hampered at all? Or...
No.
Okay. What's my movement speed? 40 feet? Oh, I'm faster. Well, I kind of know James. So I
You
probably
do.
remember
You know
that guy.
James. You have all your memories. So
I mean, intelligence too. It's not basing it off of.
yeah, but I'm so like with wisdom. I mean, he's the whatever
I
you
know
can, if
wisdom
you
probably,
consider him
but
friendly or
yeah.
angry.
Well, there are rules for dropping to 1 int. You can still tell who your friends are, even
Yeah.
with very low.
Well, yeah, because like a dog knows when it's been beaten not to go near that person. Like,
Because there's a full rule set for going feral and how you see the world.
So yeah, I'm gonna go run over to James and get behind that guy.
Okay.
I know him.
as you come running over to James, hiding behind him, James, you see as this medium-sized chihuahua comes running over to you, one arm or one leg missing, as it runs like a tripod, panting, tongue out,
Question.
hides behind you.
Does my detached arm turn into a dog leg or no?
It does not.
No, because it's not for
weird.
you.
Yep. Also, since you
that-
are
yeah,
That kind of kills what I was gonna do. Fuck.
since you are
Do you
moving,
want, me,
the
do you want this little dog to go and fucking attack him?
I have bad news. You are moving, so I'm going to take a hit on you.
Sure,
It's
you
a
missed.
14 from the small or the normal size guy, and that is a 25 for the big dude, for the huge guy. All right. Good news, his hit die is roughly about the same for Dalmage, except he gets a little bit of an increase. You take 19 points of bludgeoning damage as he gets a quick swipe at you from his staff. As you go running over, kind of quite a loud or a faint yip as you rush over towards James, hiding or kind of getting behind him as you end your turn. Lightning kind of flashing down all around Syndra as it just kind of bounces off her as you watch. All right. Is that the end of your turn, Roman, as you go behind James's legs? All right. Syndra. Now with the dog Roman behind James off to your side, the two ogre mages left, seemingly whatever you assume is in the center. What would you like to do?
There's a 34 beat their spell resistance.
Oh, 100%.
I need a reflex save from both, as Syndra is extremely pissed off.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll fix the roll-in problem. You kill.
You said will save or
Reflex.
reflex? Ah! Ooh, this
Got it.
is not that good.
Got a nat 20.
Yeah, that didn't
That's
happen.
funny.
That was a 5 and a 16. Oof.
Don't worry. So Syndra's very fucking angry.
Oof. And what is this?
This is Cone of Cold.
Okay, and is this split between or is this a total damage?
That is equal damage to both. They both take
All
71.
right. As the one ogre, the normal-sized ogre mage freezes solid almost instantly as it looks up in surprise as it kind of staring over at Rollman in dog form with a goofy smile and drool coming out of its mouth as it freezes whole. The other one, however, the huge, let me check my mouse, is looks to be completely unbothered, still standing, not yet bloodied, as the ice seems to kind of cover his chest and cover a lot of the hair, freezing it solid, as well as the oil that was dripping off of his body that you lot did not notice earlier.
I'm gonna turn you into mulch, like we should have done with every other useless fucking hag since the first age.
As Cinder shouts this out, the ogre seemingly unbothered and unfazed.
But it is the first age, the dog says.
As he barks. Oh, actually, no, he does speak.
Yeah. No, do I speak?
Yeah, you can speak your own language. You know your own language.
But not speak.
Also, I put out, you know what Syndra means, because this is not called the first age in this time.
It's true. As Cinder does this, though, like shooting off the ice, the cone of cold, that's your first spell. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, so 31 for spell resistance.
That hits. I'll be honest, I have a 28 in spell resistance on
right.
the big guys.
Let's see if you can nat 20, that reflex save.
Again? Oh, man.
Yes.
You know, I
told you Syndra's pissed.
That's 11 with the +1, so 12. Yeah, I think I live, but we'll see.
17d6.
Whew! I'm still alive. However, I am he is bloodied as you watch as the ice kind of continues to cover over as Cinder kind of continues on with this little speech, shooting more ice out of her hand as she does. It seems to cover the individual almost head to toe, as he now has a thick coating and seems to be kind of cracking as he moves it about, seemingly slowed a bit while he stands there.
As I will end my turn openly standing in this fucking doorway.
Alright, as you end your turn, staring challengingly at the creature, James, you're up, cowering Roloman behind you as he watches on listening to this. Answer.
True casting, does it affect Dispel Magic check?
True casting? Is it a feat?
No, it is a spell. Chastin would probably know.
It's for spell resistance. It's only for spell resistance.
You focus magic deep in your soul until in your soul. Okay, until it becomes a torrent that must be unleashed. Your next single spell is cast before the end of the next turn. Gains a +10 insight bonus on any cast level check made to overcome spell. Yeah, it's only for spell resistance.
All right, well then I guess I'll be trying this twice because I have 2 charges of it, and this seems like the best time to use it. Dispel Magic from my hammer to get rid of the Baleful Polymorph. Targeting that specifically.
Let me double check.
Targeted dispel.
Yeah. Make a dispel. Alright, yeah. Go ahead and make a roll for it.
Oh, fuck.
So, buddy, first hit again as you smack into Rollman lightly. Rollman fearing the hit of the hammer, you feel like a light tap on your the back of your head.
Well, this isn't an attack. It's just
I know.
basically touching.
That's why I said it's a light tap and not
Chill out.
bam.
Bro, if it was actual damage, I would make you roll it. Don't worry. But I assume you're going for the second strike.
Yeah, to try and dispel this. Fuck.
As James looks down into those like just oblivious eyes who look up at him with such hope and such like love and support as only a true friend could, and James just crying as he looks down, sobbing with the fact that he doesn't want to have to go on adventures with Chihuahua Rollerman as he tries to do the magic, the hammer seemingly glimmering and not taking any effect.
I guess I know what I'm doing for any downtime once a day.
As Syndra just looks back, seeing James doing this, and realizes she's on her own. As the battle continues between her and the mage. Alright, let's see. What can I even cast on you that I have left? 'Cause I'm limited a lot more than you are. Give me a minute. I don't have many damaging spells. Hey, Syndra, are you a plant by chance?
That'd be really funny if that came out now. It's like, oh yeah, so this whole time I've been a plant parasite in a dwarf body, but no, I'm not.
Alright, well, it would be great.
That would be a really cool story mark, though, if I was suddenly a plant monster.
Alright, I need a reflex save, Syndra. As you see little spiky caltrops begin to pour out of this huge ogre mage's hands as he begins to move his hands vigorously.
23.
23, you do succeed, so you'll only take partial. Give me a second as I double check my spell. Alright. Fantastic. So your speed is not reduced, which is good, while you're walking amongst the caltrops. However, as you look about, the caltrops are laying on the ground. As you move through the area, you will take damage from them. Hey, I'm doing the toxic spike technique here.
You think I'm moving?
Hey, listen, this guy doesn't know your plans.
This is my doorway. You can't come in.
Oh. Is that a fact, good sir?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let me see, and you know what? As he doesn't need to move for this. He is going to take one of his javelins off his back, and he is just going to chuck it forward. Unfortunately, I don't have a great to attack with this, but if I hit, it does a lot of damage. Shit! An 8?
No, buddy. My base AC is 26.
You didn't even hit the dog, man.
As the javelin goes flying past into the back stone wall, slamming into it and embedding itself into it, you watch as the negative energy begins to flow into the wall and beginning to rot the stone as it begins to turn to sand slowly. Roman's just like, now they're missing as he looks on, watching this. Well, to be fair, you did more damage to yourself than I did to you, I'll be honest at this point. As the Ogre Mage ends his turn. Back up to the top of the initiative. Rollerman Chihuahua, or Chihuahua Rollerman, if you will. What would you like to do?
Yes. I sit down.
He sits like a good dog, panting slightly from the coldness in the room and the exertion. All right.
That's it.
Oh, okay. You're not gonna bark. You're not gonna give James a piece of your mind
I'm
for
a
failing.
dog.
Okay. You sit
I
down.
understand performance issues.
And James, you can't tell outright, but there's something deep inside you that tells you Rollman's judging you. As those doleful, happy eyes look up at you with just innocence.
I did what I could. I can prep one other spell that I didn't bring, so you think someone would turn into a fucking dog.
James is always going to carry something and deal with baleful polymorph going forward.
I'm gonna fucking permanently lock us to our forms, guys. It's gonna be horrible.
As Rollman sits and ends his turn, Syndra, you're up.
No, I hate stupid fucking ogre mages. Alright. I just have to roll higher than a 13 on each roll to beat a spell resistance because of the fucking Ironheart.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna hope. Well, the first spell doesn't work.
Nope.
Alright.
As you go to shoot it off, and the staff kind of glows, taking the magic into it. What's the second one?
Don't worry. The polar ray got a 32 though.
Ooh, nice.
This one.
Rollman one. Good. Oh, 68 points of damage, good sir. Cold damage, I assume?
Yeah. With ignoring his resistance.
Yep, I know he doesn't have the Hoarfrost resistance, sadly. Man, that would be a fucking shock at this level.
I would hope I can use a cold subtype creature, which I'd have so many questions.
Right. As you slam the polar ray, a solid, almost like the old school ice beam, kind of coming out in a jagged chunk, slamming into the guy like a fist as it punches him in the face, freezing his jaw slightly as it does, the ice breaking apart and melting into water as it falls from Syndra's hands. Syndra kind of looks on with, I imagine, a smirk on her face as she watches the heavily bleeding and mostly frozen Ogre Mage.
Yeah, I'm having a great time. But that ends my turn, as I hope James has a plan of some kind as I keep fighting.
James, good sir, I have good news. There's nothing happening, so what would you like to do?
Rollman, stay as I walk out.
James puts his hand out in front of your face and kind of does it and starts to turn to walk. Wait, you're walking out?
I'm going to walk to beat this fucker.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of in the doorway.
I mean, it's a wide doorway. I mean, two snowbeards abreast. James could definitely slide by you.
James is gonna get shot. And James is...
Gets a bullet in the head.
James, how far can you move forward?
I can move 45 feet.
All right, how far do you want to move forward?
I have to go all the way up to him. I don't have a long reach.
All right, as you start to head forward, give me a spot check real quick as you start to see some things over the banister.
Hey, man.
Well, in good news, Syndra's whispers about that not being a kid, definitely accurate about now, as you're starting to see as you look down at the Snowbeard child beginning to transform into something as black bits of bolts of magical energy start to flare off of it. As well as the glimmering, what you realize is a bright red bloody star is beginning to glow a beautiful bluish color as well, seemingly reacting with the giant ball of death ore that is starting to glow.
Well, that's cool.
Roughly, you'd give it maybe round 2 before that kid's probably going to turn into something.
I have a plan B, but it's gonna kill everyone down there, and I don't want to do it.
Good. Do it.
Cinder
Test
wants the
everything.
XP.
As
No,
James will turn
don't want-
out the barrel of alchemist fire and let it drop down there onto the child.
Oh.
New Bob.
Alright.
Fucking
So I'm gonna roll something. Actually, you know what, James? We're gonna call it a luck check. Alright. High or low, James?
let's go low.
Alright, give me a d20, James.
There is a chance I am the only survivor.
Hey, I have a lot of health. This dog. Ooh.
Good news, James. Your luck seems to like you today. As you go, kind of look at, up to the mage, kind of looking over the banister as you begin to pull out, keeping about a 10-foot distance from you and that ogre mage as best you, 15-foot range from the ogre mage as best you can. So you go to the edge, looking over and take the barrel out of your bag and begin to push it over. As you do, watching as it begins to crack down below, the blue liquid begins to spread, lightly beginning to glimmer with fire as it starts to light up. And as you look about the room, the adventurers down below, James, it's worse than you thought. There's maybe 20 sword magic casters that you can count amongst the lot that are not crucified, but seemingly pushed or held up on and seemingly stuck to with spears of sorts onto large wooden stars that seem to be glittering with their blood.
Well, this will either kill everything down there or piss everything off down there.
I need a reflex save from everyone. James, you can add a +2 to yours since you're able to see this.
All right,
Man,
Mr.
I really
Dog.
wish I
How good
was.
are...
I really wish I was. He would roll it right now because it'd be a lot higher roll.
Yeah, you're also gonna wish this didn't happen before they picked up your arm.
10.
Well, Rollman, I have bad news. You're going through a rotted wall. 20?
Oh man.
25.
25. All right, Cinder, you do succeed in holding your ground. You're gonna wish you didn't. James, you're gonna really wish you didn't.
I'm gonna ride my shield out of here.
As the explosion goes off, Rolliman goes flying into a wall. Rolliman, I'm going to roll for your damage. It's only going to be 2d6 because you're only going 20 feet, so you only take 9 points of damage as you slam into the wall and go through some rotted bricks through to the other side.
This poor dog.
As you watch your items go flying and exploding out into the city itself like a cannon. James and Syndra. Now you've succeeded. So I'm going to ask, do you wish to choose to fail?
Yeah, I'll put my shield between me and the blast to
Alright.
keep me as safe as possible as I go flying. I will also try to use it to activate the fly to fly after Rollman's items.
Okay.
May I use the success to at least control my flight slightly so I go out the window?
Sure, that works. James kind of braces. Good.
I said, I'm out of here. Fuck all of you.
James kind of braces himself, kind of
blasting off again.
pushing the barrel over the ogre mage, looking down as James just gives a wicked smile, holds his shield up on his side to take the brunt of the fire damage. And as there's a momentary quietness and then a little bit of cracking and the sounds of the fire going woof. And then you watch as the big orb of death, or in the center of the room, explodes in a big glowing light. A massive explosion. As James goes flying out of the room through the same hole Rollman had, about 75 feet further than Rollman as he goes landing. Give me a tumble check, James, to see where you land.
Can I instead activate the flight of my shield?
I think the shield flight thing specifically states it can only work to carry items. I don't think it can carry you. That's
if it's the winged shield, because I read it up again. It is, and I went and read my shield. I can activate it and carry up. It can fly 40 feet with my weight, not items. My weight.
Material weight. Okay.
Yeah. So I can certainly fly.
Give me. I'll give it to you since. Let's say a concentration check to see how well you're able to get this off when you're flying through the air.
Thank you, Shield, for giving me additional concentration.
I'll give you the success, sure. Alright. As James goes flying off into the distance, managing to kind of catch himself before landing onto the ground and skidding to a halt, managing to cast flight and come to a softer landing about 2 blocks away from where he got launched out of as he looks back. Before we get to what's back there...
Sword by me?
Before we get to that, Syndra, as you kind of pivot yourself just in the moment as you see James pull out the barrel to aim for the window you lot went through, you watch as James kind of braces himself with a smile as you go flying out behind James, seeing the ogre slam into the doorway where you were standing, exploding into bits as it seems the force pushing it out as its stomach and head seem to be forced through while it's sure to make a sickening cracking sound behind you as you go flying off about so roughly about 30 or so feet to the right, about next into the next houses over's yard as you look on, seeing items kind of raining down James and Syndra as you both come to a landing. Looking back, you see as the building begins to glow and suddenly a massive explosion. Rollman, I'm sorry to do this. I need another reflex save.
I got you, man.
You're so close. You couldn't go, you know.
Yeah. Dog, go.
Fucking
12.
rocket dog. Roman, as the Chihuahua dog goes flying off towards about James, finally kind of coming to a skidding landing next to James as you do. Give me a double check, Roman.
Look, we
Double
couldn't
check.
have fought
Yeah.
that thing and the fucking thing. We were burning too much.
I don't think I have anything special for Tumble. Tumble's Dex, right?
Yeah, it's just X.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
8.
all right. You will take damage from this. I'm sorry.
The dog tumbles.
You will take so you'll take half of that. So that's 8 points of bludgeoning damage, or sorry, force damage, as you land on the ground next to James. As the secondary explosion sends you flying off. Thankfully, Syndra's just outside of the range here with this. As the three of you kind of find yourself looking back at the building, blowing up with a giant whoomph as a beautiful blue mushroom cloud kind of forms around the building, and as you begin to watch and wait for the smoke to clear, James, Syndra, and Rollman, you look on in fear as the smoke clears and that ogre is still standing as it looks on at you, and that's where we're ending session today. We thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you all for watching.